Welcome to Armchair Expert. I'm Dan Shepard. I'm joined by Dave Padman.
Hello.
We have an incredible guest today.
Do you think my name would be Dave if I was a boy?
Oh, no, it'd be Neil if you were a boy. That's already been proven by the fact that your kids...
That's too easy.
Okay, so back up to Neil.
I think your name would be Samantha.
Ew.
Well, I love
no,
that.
I know it's the best name in the world.
People would call you Sam.
If I was a gal, that's not what's being asked, but if I was a gal, what name would I want? Lincoln, obviously. I gave it to my daughter.
You're just going through the people we already know.
No, obviously. Oh, pardon.
Ooh.
Obviously, my favorite name for a girl is Lincoln. That's why I gave it.
That's why you did it.
Yeah.
But it can't be your favorite. It's who you are.
Bernadette. And you'd call me Bernie.
Oh, no, you're not a Bernie. All right, well.
See, you have probably the association of Sex and the City with Samantha.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
But don't you think it's in there, deep recesses of your...
That's exactly where I went.
You did too.
That's a male thing that you guys think that. I don't. I think of Samantha as, it's like a beautiful name.
Sure.
Often shortened to Sam, which is like playful.
Fun.
Yeah.
Cat and Sam.
Yeah.
Okay, so our guest today, you probably, well, there's many different ways you may know him. You might know him as Lil Dicky, his rap name.
Yes.
And you might just know him as Dave from his incredible show on FX.
Yep.
But his name is Dave Burd.
Yeah.
And there is a funny little thing that happens that we'll address immediately into this episode. But Dave is a rapper, a comedian, and an actor. And his show is called Dave. His past album, Professional Rapper, was hugely successful. He has some videos that have 750 million views.
Crazy.
Which is mind-boggling. But he has a new album out that took me the entire episode to finally learn how to pronounce. But alas, I can do it. Penith.
You did it.
Which is the Dave soundtrack. He's had numerous songs on the show Dave, and he's whittled that down to his favorites and is releasing them as a full album called Penith. Please enjoy Dave Burd.
He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert. He's an armchair expert.
Hey guys,
Where are you coming from?
Venice.
Oh.
Do you got a squirt?
Squirt?
Go pee-pee?
Little pee-pee?
No, but I am thirsty.
Yeah, so
we'll
we've got all kinds of options for you. We've got different kinds of water.
Oh yeah.
We've got any beer. We got a Diet Coke, and we have coffee.
We have spearmint tea.
We have a really nice olive oil.
All right, I have all the fluids.
You came all the way from Venice, and you don't have to go pee, but okay. And that
I don't
scares
have to
me. Because we can always stop.
Yeah.
There's just no door on it, so generally we allow the guests to.
The bathroom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what if I said I had to pee? You'd all leave?
Yeah,
We would leave.
step
Unless
out.
we were invited to stay. Do you have the same thing I had when I was a young man, where it's like if I was at someone's house and there were girls within earshot of the bathroom, I really hope my pee sounded really thunderous when it hit the toilet?
I haven't thought about that, but I relate to that line of thinking.
Yeah.
Oh, then I have to ask you the big question about peeing. Sit down. We need to get this all on film.
Microphone.
Yeah.
You guys don't have a blanket.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Right.
one behind you, or you can use this quilt of our faces.
I know that.
It's
quilt
not
is
that
very
comfortable.
Yeah, that's cool.
Why is it colder in here than it is outside?
I know, it's
the goal.
freezing
I'm not
in
complaining.
here. No, you can. It's freezing in
okay.
here.
Listen, you're too young to have gotten to do Letterman, so let this be your cold experience.
Sure.
Because the Ed Sullivan Theater, when he was there, was famously 59 degrees.
Why do they do that?
He likes it crisp, makes them sharper. Mm-hmm. You can relate to that, right? Mm-hmm. It's never like when it's sweltering, you're fucking popping sharp ideas.
No.
I'm already going to go
Or
down
greasy.
Right,
When I'm
greasy.
cold, I'm less greasy.
Well, at the Golden Globes, everyone was freezing because it was so windy. And on the red carpet, people were not sharper. I'll just say that.
Oh, they weren't. They were
were-
it passed
Well,
sharpness.
freeze, yeah.
They were in pain.
You can be too cold.
Yeah.
Well, then that kind of veers into maybe high altitude sickness, kind of
They
oxygen
look sick.
deprivation, not thinking clearly as you're freezing to death.
Wind. If there was any sort of fan on, I wouldn't be able to do this.
You want to?
No. If I felt the wind graze me,
Because it would distract you.
I don't like the feeling. When I'm cold.
Yeah.
When I'm hot, it's a nice feeling.
It's a breeze.
Is this the right distance?
Yeah.
You sound great.
I would
Okay,
imagine-
wait, the
oh,
question, the
okay,
big question.
the big question.
Because we were talking about peeing, and my friend Liz and I have a question about men peeing outside.
You know where she's going with this?
I do.
Because he's
I've
been
already
asked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
2 questions. One about men peeing outside, and I wanted to know if that was American. You know how men just pee
Yeah.
a lot outside. So we were talking to some British and Australian people. They said it's less so there.
Oh.
Will we agree there's less privacy there? Like, are you talking about people in London? Like, if you ask people in New York City if they pee outside, no one's peeing outside. People with yards pee outside, I think.
Yeah, but they're like at a barbecue and then they just go in the corner and pee. It's still in front of everyone. It's definitely a cultural thing. But also, when you have friends over or girls over.
Hold on, no. Can he answer that part if he's about
Sure.
the peeing?
Or do you ever
What's the
pee? Do
question?
you pee outside a lot? I know that's more of an
It
experiment.
was probably, do you pee outside a lot?
Do you pee outside a lot?
Yeah, I don't know what a lot means.
Like at a barbecue, would you do that?
Well, especially if it was a nighttime barbecue. But I feel like there are plenty of times that I've noticed in the past decade where I'm at a gathering, we're outside, and I asked the homeowner, I said, can I go pee anywhere out here?
It feels weirdly more respectful, doesn't it, to keep...
What?
It doesn't feel more
Pissing in the
respectful.
toilet?
No, I don't want to go inside. Other guests will be like, why don't you just use the toilet? I like peeing in like mulch.
You do. You like the
Because
sensation.
it dampens the sound when it hits?
It's not like transcendently better than peeing inside. I just don't like inefficient movement.
Yeah.
So why walk more? I'm already out there. It's just pee. I wouldn't shit out there.
Well, in a pinch you would, but...
If you had.
But I think it's considerate because I'm neurotic about my plumbing. Even though it's new, I'm like, I don't love the idea of having a party and the toilet flushes every 9 minutes. I think something's going to break.
I've never even thought about plumbing.
You haven't.
Not once in my life. It's the first time I've ever thought about plumbing.
Did you grow up with a septic tank or on city
No
sewage?
idea. I've never even thought
no
about
clue.
it. Yeah,
Okay.
functional toilet for sure.
Okay.
One of the key ways I would not get my allowance as a child was I used to always forget to flush. My parents, they said that's how we knew you had ADD.
It's also a kid thing. I have 2 daughters. They don't have ADD, and I find shits in the toilet nonstop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, of all things you could remember you just did, it's take a dump.
Is there at least toilet paper they're remembering to wipe?
Well, listen, yes, at this age, but trust me, early on, first thing I'd be like, fuck, you didn't flush. And I'm like, and side note, where's the toilet paper?
Oh,
You got to get back
no.
in here and wipe, because that's a little kid thing to do too,
Yeah.
to forget.
Child entitlement. There's a lot of that
Sure.
in this world. Okay, wait. The second part of the question is if you have a girl over, do you pee with the door open? Within the first 3 dates, would you pee with the door open ever?
No.
I like
Just
that.
because I know social etiquette would say that's kind of inappropriate.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be uncomfortable, but it's not worth it. I don't care enough. I ever just close the door.
Okay. I like that.
But back to your original claim that you hate inefficient movements, that certainly is
But I'm already
an
going in there.
extraneous thing to open and close a door.
That's true.
Point.
Keep me straight. Keep
Love
me honest in here.
Love 15.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
live
well,
in
we
Venice?
settle that.
I do, but I just got a new house, so I'm moving.
Where are you moving to?
Studio City.
Okay, perfect. So
Yeah.
you're coming this way.
Yeah, I've always lived on the west side of LA since I've lived here. Santa Monica, Venice area.
How many years?
2014, so 10.
So I lived in Santa Monica. First 10 years I lived here. Had no idea what was happening. That's where I landed and I
Yeah,
stayed.
kind of similar.
And then I found a house just 1,000 feet that way. And then I moved here. I was like, what was I doing there for 10 years? I didn't even look around. I like this so much more.
Why? Just so I know.
Well, Santa Monica. Now, Venice is different.
But I lived in Santa Monica for like 5 of the 10 years.
Right. And by the way, it's gotten better since you've lived there than when I was there 95 to 05,
Sure.
which is no young people, no good restaurants, no pop-up stuff, no vibe. This is like East Village.
Santa Monica lacks a vibe,
It does.
but Venice is really vibey.
Maybe too vibey.
Maybe, but I've never been to like South America, but I just imagine that's what it feels like. When I walk around Venice, it feels like I'm in a different land. It doesn't feel like LA. I find a lot of LA, even though it's beautiful weather, I just find a lot of it to be unsightly.
Yes.
Like I don't want to live in West
Totally.
Hollywood. So Venice is really charming. Now the plots of land in Venice,
They're like 7,000 square feet.
you can't really expand. I don't have the yard to pee in. I'm
can't.
peeing in potted plants.
Exactly.
Exactly. You have to go
like
to
a
the
fool.
actual toilet.
Yeah.
So embarrassing.
Okay, well, that's going to be great Studio City because you've got
We love Studio City.
the lodge.
Sportsman's Lodge.
I live near that lodge.
Oh,
I can
wonderful.
walk to that lodge. I'll tell you, the thing that I am the least good at in life is geography, sense of direction, knowing where things are. You could plot me down in my hometown of Cheltenham, Pennsylvania. If I didn't have a GPS, I would just be sleeping in my car, even if I'm like 8-minute drive away from my home. I have no idea where anything is. I know that where I live is the west because it's close to the water. Other than that, I don't know where like Pasadena is compared to West Hollywood. I know Silver Lake is like
Yeah.
right more towards the interior of
You're
America.
right. And east and west and north and south are a little confusing here because you're on the 101 going north and south, and then all
I
of a
don't
sudden
know
you're
anything
going
about
east and
highway. I
west.
Uber everywhere. car.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
Do you own a car?
I do. It's a waste of money. I'm not a good driver.
Because of the direction thing?
Maybe. I mean, if there is a correlation between spatial, like I actually thrived in school in every subject except geometry. Couldn't
get it.
succeed. I had a tutor 2 times a week, poured my heart into geometry, and the best I could do was get a C. And I was getting A's everywhere else.
Right. Well, you were summa cum laude.
Yeah. Spatial recognition is not my... If you're like moving a table into a room, I cannot help navigate how
The doorway.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't have any of that. You have a ton of that.
You guys would be fucked if you lived together. You'd have to
I
invite a third
know.
person into the marriage to handle these
But
things.
luckily, there's AI and
Yeah.
tech that handles all of this for us.
it's the right time for us.
It might
Okay.
be.
I
It might
guess
be.
you could maybe get through. I've yet to see the AA model that moves
I
a
do
couch into a room.
I have a huge fear of just maps and the GPS system just going down
my
one day.
God.
Of course.
And like what I would do. There's no way I could get in a car from here without maps and get home.
Yeah.
Right.
I would have to sleep at a hotel
You might not ever get
until the
home.
maps were restored.
Okay, can I tell you the most embarrassing thing? It's an embarrassment for me.
Yeah.
I was looking at the schedule. I know you as Dave. I know you as Little Dicky. And I didn't know your last name.
Burd.
So in my schedule for the last week, I've been seeing Dave Burd. And for me, we do experts, right? We do professors. And
Yeah.
Yes.
You thought it was a physicist.
I did all last night. I'm like, I got to get on that pretty early tomorrow because it's probably some topic I don't know a ton about.
That's funny.
And then when I realized it was you, I was elated. I sent both of them a text just cheering for joy. I was so
You were
happy
happy.
that it was you.
I'm happy that it worked out.
I mean, I love Dave so much.
Thank you.
We had the same affinity for Brad Pitt. I've dedicated most of my life to worshiping him.
Have you met him?
Yeah.
He's better than you imagine.
Yes.
Tell us.
Takes your breath away. When he walks on set, I'm not kidding, like literally he takes my breath away. Walks around with such a sense of purpose. He treats everyone so well, but he does it in a cool way.
Yeah. He's not placating.
No, he's just like cool.
No pandering.
No.
Yeah, it's legit.
It's so legit.
Yeah, the circle in which I met him, what I noticed is that he almost instinctually spent the most amount of time learning the names of the people that were on paper lowest status.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is a very cool move.
He was really inspiring, and I can't say enough good things about the man.
And we're going to get to how on earth that ended up coming to be.
Yeah.
But I like everyone else. I just fucking love the show so much.
Thank
It's
you.
just so incredible.
I appreciate it.
I'm just tickled to get to hear your story. Nor did I know it. I'm kind of embarrassed as well. I didn't.
It's good. Isn't that better?
Well, it is for me because
Yeah.
now it's exciting and I'm not regurgitating shit I knew a long time
Exactly.
ago. But you already mentioned Pennsylvania, a suburb of Philadelphia.
Yep, Cheltenham.
What did mom and dad do?
My mom is a therapist.
Wonderful.
Yeah, my dad is a teacher.
What variety?
Business administration. My childhood, he had 2 jobs. One, he was doing pension plan stuff, and then he transitioned into teaching.
Does he manage your money for you?
He doesn't manage it, but he's certainly looped in.
Okay, good,
that's
good,
nice.
good.
He's aware.
That's Monica's dad.
Yeah.
He's not the business manager, but he's all over
He
it.
has
Yeah.
to know everything.
Yeah, how could you not?
Because he was the business manager until you got a business manager. Is that fair to say? He was doing your taxes and stuff.
Well, I don't like to look at my finances.
Me neither.
It's overwhelming. It's like geometry. It's like I
Yeah.
can't understand it, so I just have to ignore it. And then when you have a dad, they're like, you can't ignore it.
No, yeah.
And so they take that on.
And you guys are virtually the same age, so
Oh, wow.
I'm
And both
inclined
summa
for
cum laude.
anything you
Look at
guys
this.
agree on for me to chalk it up as your generation, which would be really a ridiculous way to
millennial.
proceed.
Are you not a millennial?
No, I'm 75.
Yeah.
I'm old.
He
You're
is,
88?
he's born
You're
in
88.
75.
Yeah, yeah,
90
yeah.
is 75 years
Oh,
old.
that was confusing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were just making a good joke.
Yeah.
No, I hope to make some of those for you, but
Yeah.
that wasn't one of them. 1975, I was born. My birthday was last week. I'm 49 years old.
You're 13, 14 years older than me.
That's significant. I could have had you.
Well,
I only had a single pregnancy scare in my life, and
And
it
you
was
were
in junior
13?
high. It was
Oh
in
my
junior
God.
high. It was the only one I ever had.
You were fucking at 13?
I was.
I wasn't even close.
when were you? Now let's just
I almost had
jump
my
in.
second spit take of this.
Don't make that a
I know. I don't want to exploit
I
it.
was like 19, 20.
In college.
But it wasn't even in college. It was the summer after freshman year of college.
Didn't you go to Jewish camp every year? Mm-hmm. Why didn't you get laid there?
Oh my God. Laid? What do you mean?
Are people not having sex at these camps?
They're not having sex. but-
Blowjobs.
Blowjob, fingering, all that. But
Sure.
like, you got to understand, me until age 18, 19 was like a total non-starter for any girl or woman.
Okay.
I just was like the nasty boy who would, who would do anything to make everyone. First off, I wasn't traditionally attractive.
I don't know. I was watching the early videos of you today.
That's
and
when I was like
"You're
25 years
super
old.
cute."
What do you mean? I'm talking about when I was like 12 years old.
Okay,
But
you were
who's
you
cute
were all
then?
fucked up.
That's adolescent.
A lot of my friends, like popular, cool guys. And I was popular.
You're class clown.
Class clown, but I was very sweet and I would have a lot of best friends who I was in love with. And then after like 3 years, maybe they'd realize, wait a minute, maybe you're who I should kiss right now. And I'd have like a 2-week window and then that would,
But I imagine you deeply wanted to be kissing girls and stroking and fingering and all that.
Yes. More just the connection romantically than, because I'm sure you're aware that I was born with a fucked up dick.
Tangled urethra.
Exactly.
Not everyone knows that. I didn't know that. For the audience that doesn't know.
Yes, I was
It's
born,
explored.
I had this thing called, I still have it, hypospadias. I think there was actually a few issues that were happening. One, there was hypospadias, which is like your pee hole's in the wrong spot.
Not at the end of your glands.
No, it's like on the bot. It's like,
Sure.
Okay.
But
On the
honestly, it's
shaft.
close. I didn't even know. I put together the puzzle pieces of what everything meant when I was like 15. Another issue was separate to that. My urethra was tangled, so they had to do surgery and untangle it. So there's
You had
scars.
5 surgeries or something?
Not 5.
Oh, okay. I'm
Two.
exaggerating too. Okay.
Not 5.
5, you might not have a dick.
One of the
anymore.
surgeries caused these little things called sutures to start popping up, which honestly looked like poppy seeds, like just
Oh, wow.
growing on your dick. And I was like, Mom, we gotta get rid of these poppy seeds. And then one of the poppy seeds, I can't remember this, I can just tell you the facts at hand. Where there was a poppy seed is now just like a very small hole.
Well, because was it a bit of thread that had dissolved or come out when the sutures were removed?
I don't know. I just know that now when I pee, it comes out of 2 holes.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Right. So all the better to be in the backyard.
Every time I pee a little bit on my nuts.
Sure.
My nuts have just been soaked with piss the whole life.
Wow.
Right. But it's antiseptic.
It's fine.
You know what I wanted to say, though? A, it's so admirably vulnerable that you did go into that in season 1.
There's a big secret my whole life prior, too.
I'm sure it was fucking killing you.
Yeah, it was. When I lost my virginity, my thought wasn't, yes, I lost my virginity. My main thought was, yes, I have a functional dick.
Right.
Like, I didn't know if it would function properly.
My erections curved a little bit. That haunted me. It's all I thought about. Just that.
Yeah.
You're obsessed with this notion that your penis has to look exactly like the ones you've seen in pornography.
Yeah.
Okay, but back to the tangled urethra and the hypo. When reading about today, it's common. 1 in every 250 male births has this.
That's right.
So what I wanted to say was, in a country with almost 200 million men, I'm certain that you putting that on season 1 made almost 1 million guys just go like, oh my God, thank God.
For sure.
Like,
I received
fuck.
emails.
Yeah,
I
I
bet.
bet.
It's like very sweet when
It
I think
is.
about how much they must have also been just fucking
Yeah.
racked over
Paralyzed
this.
by it.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do in art is to make people feel better about whatever they're going through.
Yeah, I have a similar kink. I talk pretty openly about stuff that's quite shameful and embarrassing.
We're all going through some shit, dick or no dick.
That's right.
Okay, somehow we got on your penis really quick.
What I was saying was I actually wasn't in a rush to
Get
go
it out
far. I wanted to be in love. There were times where opportunities were on the table and I was like, I'm not going to go there tonight because I'm not ready.
And then once it started and you got over it, were you like, why did I make that much out of it?
For sure. As an adult, I can sit down with a group of men and take them through my dick and they would be fascinated. You would be on the ground laughing, your eyes would be wide. But from what I gather, I just think most women, maybe they don't care, but I just think they don't necessarily know what a dick is supposed to look like. It's all the same.
As
I
long
know.
as they're feeling pleasure from
Exactly.
it, that's all that really matters.
This is 1,000% true because I've asked my wife, if I lined up 20 of the dicks that you've had, would you be able to pair them with the guys?
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
Now, I'll say this. My parents said, it's enough of the dick stuff.
They have.
They said, I'm so sick of every interview and everything you do. We're not talking about this because I think it's like slapstick funny. I just think it's a
No.
defining trait. So mom and dad, if you're listening,
Well, look, I think it's clear that that's not the spirit of how we're talking.
Good. Hope
I'm
that's
not
clear
like,
to you,
Bro,
Mom
I
and
heard
Dad."
you're fucking... My boys tell me your dick's fucked up. What's going on? That's not happening.
Okay.
Mom and dad, cut everyone some slack
Yeah.
here.
Okay, so when you go away to college, obviously by this point, you already love music, and I'm assuming you love comedies.
yeah, I didn't grow up thinking I was going to be a musician. I grew up thinking I was going to be like the next great comedian.
Right, wonderful. Who are you looking up to at that point?
Adam Sandler, Larry
Yes.
David, Seth Rogen, Superbad came out right around then. Will Smith,
Oh, sure.
talk about an inspiration, a funny comedy rapper from Philadelphia who really defined cool. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, top 3 show of all time for me.
And then he's in Bad Boys, and you're like, wait, he's a bad motherfucker too?
Bad boy.
And then he's Ali?
He's everything.
Yeah, what a journey to follow.
I looked up to Allen Iverson.
Okay,
from Philadelphia.
AI.
Talk about a guy instilling hip-hop culture in you. My God, was Allen. 13 years old, he's taking us to the finals on his back.
Yeah, and he's so good looking.
And he's so cool.
Yes, with the fucking huge
They're having to
diamond
change
earrings.
like the rules of how you dress because he's so culturally ahead.
No, he was. He was
Yeah.
the coolest ever. So when you go into college, though, well, clearly you end up getting a career before you pursue any of this. But are you thinking, I'm going to go there and just get this thing, make my parents happy? Or I'm going to go there and I'm going to study something that I'll turn into a career?
First off, not going to college, it just didn't feel like something that people did, unless you were like Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, totally.
I went there, I'm just realistic. I was like, look, I obviously have pie in the sky dreams, but none of those pie in the sky dreams are going to happen during this 4-year period of college, and they're probably not going to happen for like the 3 years after college as well. So if my pie in the sky dreams of being the next Larry David don't come true, which even though I certainly believe it, I'm also just a logical human being, I would like to be set up to where the most realistic version of my life would still be relatively satisfying. So I thought, what do I love to do the most? Be creative. What is a career in corporate America where creativity is allowed and valued? Advertising.
Yeah.
What schools have good marketing undergraduate programs? University of Richmond. So I really went in there from the beginning being like, I'm trying to position myself to get hired at a great ad agency. And I did.
Yeah. What was college experience like? Because if you're summa cum laude, I'm going to say that a lot to you because I was Magna, and I wish people would bring it up more in interviews when
What
I'm
a waste of effort.
It is.
That's why I
you
made
never hear about it again.
That's truly why I made my first album art, my resume, because I feel as though I put so much work from the age of 18 to like 24 into getting that resume, and then I became like a professional rapper, and it all felt like all that effort for what? And I was like, I need to highlight so it's front and center. My GPA, I just worked so hard.
Yeah, good. So I want to
Yeah.
just keep drilling
Please.
this in. Summa cum laude. This is huge. This is
Yeah.
above Magna. Also,
Thank you.
yeah, Monica was summa.
I was.
Go Dogs.
Go
Go
dogs.
dogs.
What are the Richmond, Virginia? Go What's?
Spiders.
Ooh, the
Spiders.
Spideys.
Wow.
Ooh,
wow.
Spidey senses.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So freshman year, Richmond is very preppy.
Oh, right. Old South money.
Yeah, everyone's wearing like purple pants and croquis. Initially, I was like, whoa, are these people my people? I don't know. I might transfer. And I knew that if I got really good grades, what you don't realize is in high school, you get your grades and you have very limited options of how far you can take it. My mom and dad were like, don't even apply to any Ivy League school. But if you get like a 4.0 freshman year at any reasonable university, you can just transfer to like Harvard.
Oh, you can.
Yes, you can transfer to Penn. If you get a 4.0 at University of Richmond, you can go to any Ivy League school. It's weird. So I worked so hard freshman year to get good grades. And then by the end of freshman year, I kind of found my people. And I was like, I actually like it here. But my GPA was so good that I was like, I can't let this go. So I competitively, I was like, I can't let it get lower. And I just worked so hard to have a 3.93 GPA. Your margin for error is so slim, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can include me.
I mean, it's different.
Well, the school I went to, too, is a lot harder. But anyways,
No,
continue.
I just wanted to
Nope.
put myself in the best position to live my ideal life, which in my ignorant brain was get the best grades, you're going to get the best job interview opportunities.
No, there's something beautifully Buddhist about this, which is you do the best that you can do at whatever thing you're fucking doing.
That's what college taught me, which still applies to my present
Yes.
day. People say, like, you probably learned how to market yourself at school, right? And I'm like, not at all. I don't remember anything I learned. I just learned that if I apply myself, I can succeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is a valuable thing, along with the socialization benefits of not having the pressures of the real world and being able to ease into adulthood that college privilege provided.
Now, you go immediately to San Francisco
Yeah.
to take this job, or you go there and get the job?
To take the job.
To take the job.
I'm not that reckless.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
I've never
presume
done
so.
anything that crazy in my life.
Right. That'd be wild and a wild city to pick to do it in.
Yeah.
Wait, can we pause real quick? Because I am finding this really interesting. Because I don't know that much about you, but I feel like who you are already is so different than what I thought you were. What I thought you were going to be when you came in here. I thought you were going to be like,
Look at my dick.
no,
Check out
not
this dick. There's only 1 in 250 of these, baby.
that, but just maybe the word reckless, maybe, or spontaneous,
Yeah,
or like
so the opposite.
Yeah, that's so interesting.
He's not a daredevil. He's not a thrill seeker.
so risk
he
averse.
hates,
Right.
he hates roller coasters.
Yes.
I know a lot about you. now.
Yes.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will
But
find
if you
this
watch
surprising.
do you watch the show? You can be
I haven't
honest.
seen it.
Right.
That's
So if you
why.
watch this show, this is very
If you're
much who he
only
is on the show.
experiencing Lil Dicky, the musical
Exactly.
artist, being Mr. Whatever. Yeah, you're right. The show contextualizes everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not that
But
guy.
this is
Interesting.
I'm cooler.
Yeah, you're very cool. I like it. I'm liking it.
This is very much how you are on this show. Obviously, it gets more and more exaggerated, as it would when success comes, and we'll explore that. But when you go to San Francisco, now this is a second kind of big, huge cultural shift. Are you lost when you get there, or do you land completely on your feet?
Lost. I started working 8 days.
Oh, okay, so you didn't have time to feel...
No, I never felt lost. I started working there. Also, there's another game that was being played where I wanted to be in the creative side of life. But to work as a creative in the ad industry, you have to have a portfolio. You have to go to graduate school. I had none of that. I had a business degree with a concentration in marketing. So when I went in there, I went into this account management department. Let's say Frito-Lay, for example, Doritos, they want to make ads. They hire an ad agency, and there's a buffer between the creative people that are making their ads and the people that communicate with Frito-Lay corporate, and that's me. But that's not even me. I'm like the lowest man on the totem pole. I'm like taking notes and like sending emails, and it's not at all what I was good at, not at all what I wanted to do, but I got my foot in the door to look around and be like, do I even want to do this for a living? I think I want to do it, but it felt kind of reckless to go 2 years to graduate school, spend like $60,000 and build a portfolio when I don't even know if I want to do it.
You haven't got to try it.
And I've always believed that if I got in the door, I've always felt special. So I felt like there would be a way that I could pivot within the agency itself and show them how dynamic I am once I'm there, and I did.
What's important is it's the second time where rap has kind of materialized in a way. So the first time being when he was in 5th grade, you did a report on Pushkin.
Yeah, you do.
Right, and you rapped it, and that was your first time rapping.
Yeah, Alexander Pushkin, the Russian. I don't even remember much about him.
Do you know that's what Malcolm Gladwell's company is called, Pushkin?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Really? I did not.
Yeah, his podcast empire is Pushkin.
And it's based off of...
Yeah.
Well, then,
you guys might
10,000 hours.
You guys might be soulmates that haven't yet met.
Yeah.
But you got an A on that.
I got an A on that, and I'll try to tell the most condensed version of the story.
We're here for 4 hours.
Don't feel pressured to do so.
Well, I think it is interesting. Basically, I'm the low man on the totem pole. I'm trying to become a rising star in this agency. I only interface with the big wigs at this company once every 3 months when I send this email showing how the Doritos chip sales have been improving or not improving based on the ads that we're running. That whole document was a template given to me by the assistant account manager before me, a painfully boring thing. I was like, why don't I deliver this information and data via a rap song one day?
This is a huge swing.
Yeah.
It is.
So this is the bizarre dichotomy of you, which is like risk adverse, and then also I think I'm going to try to hit a grand slam in
But
this
it's
moment.
no risk. I knew that this agency, they're fun. Everyone's cool and young.
They almost are forced to like it because that's supposed to be the spirit of the place.
But it really is the spirit of the place. I give a lot of credit to this company, Goodby Silverstein and Partners. I don't know that I would be here without them. I felt bad, actually, when I made an episode in season 2 where I was kind of implying that I was trapped in this corporate maze trying to break out because I really did love it there.
No, it's the second best thing to show business is ad business.
Yeah.
And there's so much crossover.
Yeah, there is crossover. And there's a lot of talented people. But they encourage people to go off and do their own thing. And every year when I was there, they did a grant for $50,000 where they'd be like, go for your dreams. I even submitted Lil Dicky as a candidate for that and did not win.
Okay.
So I did this rap song. Everyone was like, who the hell is that guy? They were like, go make a video for it. And then all of a sudden I'm realizing there's a whole little production wing of this agency. And when I grew up and I thought of rap videos, I thought of like Puffy and Biggie on a yacht.
Totally.
I didn't realize that the technology was there where we just went into a room and we shot slow motion footage and it really looked and felt like a real rap video. And then that was more love. Then that got to the head of the creative department and they were like, that guy needs to be in the creative department.
Wow.
And then I switched and then I was the youngest guy in the creative department.
How great is that?
That guy ran
Great.
the NBA account.
If your life ended there, it's already a success.
I was so proud. And this guy ran the NBA account and he knew that I was really creative and knew basketball and he let me run with the whole playoff campaign. I wrote 10 commercials for the NBA.
At what age?
22.
Wow, that's so
So
cool.
great.
Yeah, I picked the music. I found the footage. It was so empowering. And I really feel like the satisfaction I got when I would see my commercials come up on TV when I was 22 is equal to the satisfaction I felt when I see me and Brad Pitt.
I was going to just say that exact thing. I don't want to fast forward too much, but I will say when I look back on my own life, nothing topped those early things because there was actually something spiritual and foundational, which is, I can be effective in the world.
Yes, you live your whole life thinking you're special.
But are you?
Yeah, but are you? Maybe. And then here I am all of a sudden. And like, if I can be special here, I always said these guys that I idolized didn't begin as anything more than everyone's funny friend.
Right.
And they just put their mind to it.
You're very big on dreaming, which I like. It's very sweet. So, but that, of course, then encourages you to start making your own videos.
Exactly. So I'm like, wow, look at where the tech is at here, guys. I recorded that song on my computer, GarageBand. Like, I have a built-in recording studio on the laptop that I just happened to buy by default. That didn't exist 10 years prior. There's YouTube, where I'm seeing guys like Lonely Island Andy Samberg making funny rap videos that are going super viral.
Yeah.
I can shoot these videos with this company has all the equipment. It was all right in front of me. And I thought, if they're going so crazy at this company that's a really valued and respected company about me making funny videos about sales data.
Yeah.
Imagine if I took my most memorable comedic ideas and applied it to that. And so I started thinking in that way. I found this guy, Brian Storm, who was doing all the rap videos in Oakland. And I got with him, and it was just a beautiful partnership.
You cold called them?
One of the producers at this agency that I worked at did this program where they worked with filmmakers in Oakland and undiscovered talent. And he connected me with him. And then I looked at his videos and I was like, these look kind of cool. Of course, I want to be a comedian and make movies and make Curb Your Enthusiasm, but it didn't feel feasible to like shoot
scenes and
it would then be compared to like those things that it would look shitty. But rap videos, you can really make it in a DIY way. And I had $6,000 saved for my bar mitzvah that my parents refused to let me spend along the way. And they didn't want me to spend it on rap videos, but I was like, what am I going to do? Buy like a high-end couch?
Yeah.
Like,
you have
what?
a job.
Yeah.
Give money.
I wasn't making money. I was making $36,000, but cost of living in San Francisco.
Forget it.
But I was making a profit. I was like, I'm not losing money. And I did have that $6,000, which of course is the biggest privilege gift you could ever have. I just made 4 different rap videos.
This is the chunk where you take 2 years and you write 32 songs and shoot 16 videos. Are we there yet?
Yeah, we're there.
So this process begins at this moment.
Yeah.
But it takes you 2 years.
Yeah, because I wanted to succeed. And I was like, who knows what's going to happen? Right now, I'm really on a path to be a creative director.
You got shit on television.
But I would never have been satisfied in life if what happened didn't happen. And I always knew I would go for it. And that's what happens with a lot of people. I feel like you get caught in the corporate maze of success.
Well, you take on commitments.
And then there's like 6 years have gone by, and my life has been a fairy tale, to be honest with you.
So nice.
Yeah, it is so nice.
Okay, so
And all I do is complain.
we're going to get to that too.
Oh.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So 2013 is when So Hard is the mixtape, which you took 2 years. And then you decide to release one song a week for 5 months.
Yeah.
And then the first video you released, Ex-Boyfriend, got 1 million views in 24 hours.
That's the one. Making ads, cool, but it's like all my friends and family, when I started working obsessively on becoming a rapper out of nowhere, truly I could tell in their eyes, they were like, he is losing it.
Yeah. How does anyone know? I have children. Like, how does one know whether their child is a delusional narcissist?
You don't. I don't blame my parents for feeling that way.
Right, no, it's a very hard thing to evaluate.
It's hard to evaluate.
Like, is this person flew off into outer space on us?
That's why I'm so happy that within 8 hours, I told you so.
Validate.
From there on, all I needed was like a spark. I got the biggest spark. Literally day 2, I'm in my cubicle at work doing an interview with TMZ with that guy Harvey.
Oh, gee, with Harvey.
Yeah, like live.
They sent the big dog.
Yeah, truly. And like hoping my boss doesn't walk in.
What?
Yeah.
Also, you could have easily gone down like a bad cult leader route.
Ooh.
Why?
Because there's so much validation that you know what you're doing, or the specialness, or things go well for me. I obviously have figured it out, and I did this, and in 8 hours I got this. I should probably start a cult.
It just felt like I am who I thought I was. It didn't feel like new information. It felt like, oh, thank God that I'm not crazy.
I wasn't delusional.
Yeah, I wasn't delusional. Immediately in my mind, then and there, I was like, okay, so of course I'm going to pursue this fully. I'm going to quit eventually. I had all the clarity off of one day of success, and I had all the assets to continue to ride that because I literally stockpiled all these different videos and songs, so every week for 5 months I can put something new out.
Wow.
Yes.
I could build on it.
Okay, and I want to just fast forward to season 1 now, and this is a joy that Monica hasn't got to experience yet. You're watching this show, it's straight hysterical from the get-go. And I'm completely ignorant on everything in this world, right? So I'm not sure if it's just like me doing a Groundlings character on an FX show.
If I'm an actor playing a rapper, yes.
I don't know what's going on, right? Which is so fun. And it's delayed for a while, which I like. Then all of a sudden, Dave raps. And you're like, holy fuck. That was my reaction. Like, this is for real, no shit.
We're playing for keeps.
Yeah.
That's right. Shit just got real.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, the skill set Let's just say in season 1, let's give it an arbitrary number. Let's say it's 10.
I like that.
I mean, obviously, we've gone beyond that, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But let's just say it's 10 for reference. When you're making this first mixtape so hard, what is the skill level at?
3, in my opinion.
There's a whole technique you're developing, but that requires development.
Totally. My ideas have always been there, but the execution, horrible. And when you're executing horribly and rapping and you're white, it's like, please. That's why I'm so excited about putting this new body of music out, because even my first album, 2015, the skill level probably got to like a 7. I have no body of work that I would be happy to have Jay-Z sitting and listening to.
Wow.
Everything else, I'd be like, Jay, please don't listen.
Yeah.
But now if Jay-Z listened to this new project, I'd be like, cool. He's getting a present day version of what I've evolved to. Back to Malcolm, it works like a sport, and the more time you put into it, the better you get.
If we could think of the different metrics that are adding up to these videos, there's 3 elements going on. There's the music, there's also the creativity of your video, and then there's whatever charisma you have as the person we're watching, right?
Yes.
And so if we had to evaluate at that moment when the first one comes out and is huge, what do you think's carrying it? The concept?
The charisma. And the idea. I've always had solid ideas.
Yes.
It's weird because I wanted to be a comedian. Never thought of myself as like a serious rapper. And I've always loved rap. And then I made this song called Russell Westbrook on a Farm, which even now I wouldn't recommend to Jay-Z, but it's better than a lot. But I put that out, and all my fans who had previously been like, I love this funny energy that you probably thought I would have.
Yeah.
Then I put that out, and it's like introspective and not at all relying on humor as a crutch in any way.
Summa cum laude.
Summa cum laude.
Coming through.
Honesty.
Exactly. Honesty. And I feel like people like that more than my other stuff. And then I just got really competitive.
Do you follow Mark Riboulet at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so I love him. The similar thing happened for me is like I'm watching all this thing. The first one I ever saw is like Show Me Your Ass,
Yeah.
which I love. Show Me That Butthole. Remember our
Yeah.
favorite one? We've seen him, Monica and I, a few times in concert.
He's great.
But every now and then he drops these songs that are so insanely beautiful and they're only a minute and I want to kill him and go like, make that whole thing that's so outrageously beautiful.
Yeah.
You can do that. Please give me that. And I'm imagining you were having the same experience.
Well, that's why I like the position I'm in now, where before, when I was making music, I was honestly making music to desperately get attention from the South Park guys or like
Yeah.
Seth Rogen. I was like throwing shit up there to be like, this is a great idea that's funny, that I'll get hired as like a comedian. And now that I've achieved all of those things, I can just make music for the love of making music.
Which is a tricky spot, actually, to be creative from. That's my very last thing
It
I
is,
want to
it's- yeah.
explore. It's very, very dicey.
Yeah.
What happens immediately, though, which is, I think, very unique in your story, is you do have this very asymmetric success among peers and idols. The first video comes out and Kevin Durant hits you up.
Oh, wow.
That's really odd
It felt
for a
great.
video, right? That gets a million. And then this has been a really consistent thing, which is I would say among your peers and the people here, you're maybe the most popular guy there is. The metrics across the country don't reflect that. Not that you're not hugely successful, but it's asymmetric.
I agree completely.
You know what I'm saying?
I've never spoken about it.
It's very unique.
Yes. Every artist and person in the industry, I feel like, has that even higher appreciation than a Joe Schmo might.
I mean, the fact that Brad Pitt agrees to come, that just
Yeah.
says every single thing. But at that point, there had already been so many people
Yeah.
who, again, it's just very asymmetric and interesting.
I wish it was full symmetric.
Most people have it reversed. Those people would obviously think, all I want is the respect from my peers.
I would rather have the respect from my peers.
Exactly.
And I can't tell you how many friends I've had who were on mega hit things, shows, movies, whatever, and they're tortured with the fact that they know no one in town has seen it.
But, I'm tortured too, like in a different way. I don't get invited to the Golden Globes,
That's shocking
This
to me.
year,
ever. I don't care that much. There is a disconnect when I'm like, wow, I can make a movie and get everyone in the world to be in it because they all believe in me as a writer.
Which
and
is way more
producer.
important than
It is
getting
way more-
invited.
but it still hurts sometimes or feels.
It does. It's
I think it's actually healthy.
Yeah,
I don't think
I think
you
it's
should have
healthy
all
too.
this shit.
I think you're right.
But let's go through a really quick touchdown from 2013 when that thing comes out and it gets 1 million views, which is bonkers in 24 hours. And then you, in 2014, Save That Money actually charts on Billboard 100.
Yeah, that was cool.
Goes double platinum. Now you're getting to work with some pretty crazy fucking people, artist-wise.
Yeah, I'm making songs with Snoop Dogg and T-Pain and all these people.
Are you having in these moments, are you having like imposter syndrome or do you just walk in and own that you're having it?
This is the analogy I say, and it sounds so arrogant,
Yeah.
but I really just am a guy that evaluates the facts at hand. I've always felt like I was this for comedy, and I didn't think I was ever musical or anything. And I just think I kind of discovered accidentally that I am a great musician.
I heard you say you were using it as a vehicle to pursue comedy, and in the process, you actually fell in love with music.
I fell in love with it, but I also can't believe that I'm this talented at that. So like,
Sure.
the analogy I make, and I don't mean this arrogantly, it's like believing your whole life that you're Superman and finding out not only are you Superman, you're also Batman.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm a competitive guy. And I'm like, oh my God, fuck comedy. I'm fucking Eminem. I want to be like the best rapper of all time. Even today, sitting here, I literally feel like I'm one of the 5 best rappers alive. My body of work in no way reflects that.
Uh-huh.
But I know that I can achieve that. I'm not saying I know I can achieve
You're saying,
that.
I think what you're saying is you have the capacity.
And I'm not saying that I will ever be acknowledged at that, nor do I even deserve to be acknowledged at that. I just think that I have a lot of skill as a
It sounds
musician.
really good, and I agree with it until we start naming a few
It's
before,
not 5.
and then we go.
It's not 5.
Well, we
It's
have
like
Nas
20.
and Jay-Z
It's like
and-
20.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden you're like at 10.
It
and we
might
haven't
be
even
30.
Got,
Yeah. It's not 5 at all. But still, and what I found is I actually am like a rapper's rapper. The way that Brad Pitt appreciates my filmmaking, rappers
Well, that
appreciate.
becomes clear with how many people immediately show up to work with you, which
It's
is
a lesson in confidence. You've believed in yourself this whole time, and then things come to fruition.
Yeah.
so. In 2015, professional rapper, his debut album peaks at 7 on Billboard.
I will say Led Zeppelin also, I think, put out 3 remastered albums on that same date, so it would have been 4.
Those bastards.
But Zeppelin
come on,
had 3
Led
albums.
Zeppelin, though.
It's cool.
But that is, caveat.
Yeah, the second best rock band of all time beat you.
Just 3 albums at one day, not something I was expecting.
Unforeseen, no one warned me about, and it was rough.
But it was cool. 7 is great.
And I'm curious now because you're on such a run musically. Are you starting to let go of your comedy fantasy?
I feel like my career, it's like a tale of being stretched too thin. I didn't forget, but I was putting off what I initially started doing it for because I was like, I'm a young man. I'm a rapper. I'm on stage at festivals. It's so fun and this is cool. So I focus on music, but then I finally get back to the TV show eventually. And now I kind of am at a point today where I'm like, I've abandoned music. I'm letting that slip away.
Yeah. Well, it's been a minute since you
Yeah.
had an album. 8 years. Penith is what we're here to promote.
Penith.
Penith. Oh. Spelled P-E-N-T-H. So
Penith.
Oh, maybe it was a typo.
P-E-N.
dyslexic. I'm glad you just corrected
Penth.
me.
No.
Yeah, I wrote Penth.
Penith. Penith, like the zenith.
Okay. Okay, Penith.
On brand.
Okay, that's why your
It's a
parents were
soundtrack
like that.
album for the show. Whenever I get free time, I just make music. And I fill up a vault over time. And then it's time to make the show. And the show is about a rapper, so you got to put
You
music
gotta
in the
plug in
show.
something.
And this is just the collection of work that I love that I think stands apart. My goal is you can listen to this album having never seen the show and still love it. But everything that appears in this album are songs that have appeared in the show. So you'll have a higher appreciation for it if you watch
No,
the
if
show.
we play Mr. McAdams for Monica right now, having never seen the show, she's going to love that song.
Do you love
I'm gonna
Rachel?
love it.
Yeah, okay. Don't do
She
it.
loves it. Okay.
I do love Rachel McAdams.
Who doesn't?
We're missing one piece, which I think is relevant. There's a few things you and I are going to relate on deeply that I was just tickled to see you admit to out loud.
Okay.
So, 1 second story. I happen to journal for the last 20 years because I'm sober, and that's
Yeah.
part of being sober for me. And I was about to start shooting a movie, and I was panicking the 3 days leading up to it because I was like, I just got cast in it. I didn't audition. I just got offered the
Yeah.
thing. I don't even know what I'm fucking playing. I've never
Yeah.
said these words out loud. I'm going to shit the bed. And I'm like really spiraling. And then I don't know why it occurs to me. I'm going to glance at my journal from the last movie I did. And I go back and I get my journal and I read 3 days before. And it's like, you're a piece of shit. You
Yeah.
don't deserve to be here. You're going to suck. They're going to fire you. And then I read day 1 of filming. I'm like, I'm so underpaid. I'm the most talented person in this movie. I'm so funny. I am incredible. I go between I'm the worst piece of shit in the world to total megalomania in 1 second. And when I was hearing your experience with performing live for the first time, I just related so deeply, which is he was a hit musician who had never, ever done it in front of anyone.
No, it was like all behind a computer, the digital age. So all of a sudden, I was like, oh my God, I wouldn't even do karaoke back then. It's too much. And then there was like 2,000 people in my hometown. Everyone I grew up with there. And
Oh my
the
God.
worst. Way too high a stakes. You shouldn't have invited anyone.
honestly, and the crowd wasn't even as pumped because it wasn't even true Little Dicky fans. It was family friends.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're scared for you.
Yeah, it was so stressful.
Oh. Then the second you did it, you said, oh, right, I was born to do this.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this isn't even hard. Yeah. I feel like there's no better live performer.
Top 5 or
Yeah.
30.
Oh
No.
my God. I'm the
Wow.
exact same. Part of me is embarrassed for myself, and then another part of me is like, no, it's kind of how I write the scales of so much self-loathing and shame and self-hatred. I need kind of these blasts of megalomaniacal thoughts about myself just to kind of write the scales, because I'm also torturing myself on the other side of it worse. It's peak on both sides.
Yeah, I can relate. Let me pee.
Yeah, there we go. You want to step out, or are you
No,
gonna?
I-
Sure?
Okay, great. I'll make another coffee while
I
you're
pee
doing that.
sitting down, so.
Oh, okay.
Great. Dax, can you fill up more water for me, please?
In your kettle?
Yes.
Like, do I have to do anything to the kettle?
I think you might need to
put more
pour a
water
little
in
more
and then-
water in.
And then boil it.
Yeah.
Don't come over here. You gotta like.
He's trying to help.
Guess what? I'm gonna go too. But I'm gonna stand if that's okay.
Sure.
If you're okay with it.
I'm good with it.
I'm trying to drink 2 spearmint teas a day. I heard that's good for your skin.
Just spearmint?
Yeah. Not peppermint.
Okay.
And spearmint. Spearmint is harder to find, of course. Okay, Dax, I'm coming over. I'll also turn.
Look at that, Monty. You sure you don't want to go? 3 out of 4 went.
No peeing.
It comes.
Okay.
We've been talking for an hour.
Not for her.
Not for me.
No.
She pees once a week.
Yeah.
When I have the slightest feeling of having to pee, I have to take care of it. 1/8 there, I got it.
How about when you're about to walk out on Kimmel, I start peeing neurotically in the green room. I'm like, how long is it going to be? And they're like, 5 minutes. And then they mic me. I'm like, I get one in. And then when they knock, I'm like, 1 second. And then I try to force a little out. It runs my life, my fear that I'll have to pee.
Do you find yourself, maybe it's because I sit, but I find myself oftentimes peeing twice in one sitting.
Oh, sure.
I'll sit, pee, and then I'll just wait, and more pee will come.
Yeah. I agree. Especially at night for me, because I drink fluids compulsively all day long.
Truly, I can't be without access to fluids.
I couldn't agree more. And then I also wake up all night long to pee because I drink way too much. So right before I get in this pattern of going like every 7 minutes as I'm getting tired. And then, I stand there long enough, and then I have all these weird exercises I do to push, and I get
Yeah.
a little more squirts
Oh,
out.
Yeah.
I have heard that's not good for you.
It's not.
Oh, really?
No.
Why? What's it doing?
You're not strengthening
Yeah.
the muscles. You're weakening.
But my
them.
Kegels are getting stronger, I think, because I'm
No,
like,
it's the opposite.
my pelvic.
Your pelvic floor.
You think
is
I'm weakening
weak.
my?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm.
Yes, I
weakening,
just
no.
heard this. I have a very strong pelvic floor, which is why I never pee.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Don't
I will
brag,
keep-
though.
Well, I will. I will
Okay.
keep bragging.
We're back.
But you were saying something important.
Really important.
Was I?
Yeah, it was really emotional and important. It was about performing. We were talking about performing.
You want to hear a funny performance story?
I do, really bad.
I never said this out loud.
An exclusive?
Yeah.
Rob, hit record. We hadn't been recording. Rob, start recording.
So 2 or 3 years ago, I get an opportunity to open the Emmys.
Okay.
Performing, like me, LL Cool J, doing like a musical thing. I find out about it, of course, 5 days before the Emmys. There's no heads up.
Now, really quick, does the shadow start telling you, I'm only here because someone dropped out, or they would have told me weeks ago?
No.
Okay, that's good. I would have done that. You focused on the win.
I was like, this seems major.
Yeah.
And live TV performing, if we could just cut that out, I'd be like 10% happier. There's nothing worse than being evaluated on how cool you look and you can't control the edit.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God. Luckily, in this instance, it was a pre-record. So I get to write and record my verse ahead of time, and I just got to look like I'm doing it.
Great.
That being said, I only have like 3 days to write a verse that I feel comfortable nationally televised, opening up the Emmys for. But I write it and record it, and then I have my friend's wedding that weekend where I'm a groomsman. And the whole weekend, no matter what song is playing, I'm rapping my verse to that tempo, to like memorize the words, getting my swag right, figuring out what I'm going to do. Because of the wedding, I had to miss the rehearsal. And I'm not even like a private jet guy. The only way to make it happen was I had to get a private jet, get right off the plane, get in the suit, boom. I was trying to act like I was built for this.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, this is what you're going to have to
This
do
is
in
my life now.
This is me.
This is standard shit
Yeah,
for a
this is
guy in my
standard.
position.
Yeah. And my friend Gata, who's in the show,
We need an hour on him.
he's in the hallway next to me. He's not coming on. He's just there for moral support.
Do you have a hype man? Is he really your
Yeah,
hype
yeah,
man?
yeah.
That's all real.
He's a real guy, yeah.
No, I know he's a real guy, and I know he's a
Yeah,
real
like if
hype
I
man.
went to
but
a
is-
concert, he would be coming with me on stage and being my hype man for sure. I've never done a show without him.
Okay, wonderful. We've got to earmark how you met him, but continue.
Yeah.
So Gata's there
Gata's there just for moral support.
as the groomsman.
No,
No,
this is
back at the Emmys.
we're at the Emmys.
I also,
Gata
by the
was-
way, I did also think that at
no.
first.
We're at the-
I thought he came to hype you up for the groomsman
No.
role. Okay.
It was not that full service. I'm at the Emmys. The producer's like, you're on in 10, 9. And I look at Gata so confidently. And I say to him, literally as they're saying 10, I say, I'm going to kill this shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
He daps me up. They're like, you're on. I walk out. I immediately forget every single word of the entire. I have no idea.
Oh, so stressful.
Fucking thank God it's pre-recorded.
It was as if, like when the bomb goes off and it's like white noise. All I could do was hear the white noise. I'm out there in my microphone. If it was live, you would have heard. But I knew that it was a pre-record, so I just put that mic real close to the mouth. And I tried to move my body to the rhythm and get through the blocking. It ends, and I come off stage. I'm of the mindset that I just nationally humiliated myself. And I'm like, please, someone show me the clip. And I look so good.
Oh, it really?
It looks like I
No
killed
one
it.
would know.
No one knows until now.
Well, now I want to watch.
Me too.
Watch it. I look great.
Okay, I challenge you.
Inside of me is just a mess. I've
Okay,
never
so I was
experienced
unclear.
anything like that.
I was unclear, and I think the listener might be as well, which is you had already pre-recorded, but now the lip syncing was live.
Yeah, exactly.
You
have
got
to
that
look
immediately,
like-
but I thought you were going to have another take when you were telling the story. But no, you're live.
I'm live,
on
the Emmys,
stage,
we are on
and you went
TV.
completely up on the whole song.
Yeah, if it was the Grammys,
and you had to sing.
Okay.
it would have been like, it would have been crazy.
Oh, wow.
God.
Okay, I want to compare no stakes, but we've done like 25 live shows or something of this show on stage in front of thousands of people. And it's always gone well and it's always fun. And then I just took a paid deal to do a live show of a different podcast in Las Vegas. And I just entered the thing like, yeah, I've done this so many times. I'm not worried at all. And it was an unmitigated disaster. It was just complete disaster. The audience was attacking us and it was wild and I had zero control. And I really was like, oh, I don't have the skill set to navigate out of this situation. And it's going to go on for another hour.
Yeah.
I haven't done a live show since, but I've questioned like,
Is it worth it?
not is it worth it? Did that one event erase my ability to go do it?
No.
Oh, well, let me tell you this.
So that's what I'm asking. Did you go like, oh no? Because I'm with you. I'll give this a swing. And thus far it's worked out. And that was kind of the first time it didn't work out. And then I was like, oh, I didn't even like knowing that was an option.
Oh, for example, I always had dreams of headlining the Super Bowl. And now I would be like, no way. Like, it's not worth it.
Right.
Truly, that's kind of where my head is at with it, with
And
live.
because of that experience, right?
Totally.
Like if you had slayed it, you'd be like, we got to get me on the Super Bowl list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a blessing in disguise.
But the thing is, it's not quite the same, but I'd argue it's just as important. I go on like Sway in the morning and do a freestyle where like if I fail, it's still going up and it's going to be like the story. Honestly, if Jay-Z could see anything, I'd want him to see these 2 Sway freestyles that I went in and I killed. That is so high risk. You know, if you're on stage at a concert and you forget the words, it's funny.
If it's your concert.
If it's your
Yeah.
concert.
That's the defining difference,
Yeah.
right? The Emmys aren't yours. People out there didn't buy a ticket to see Lil Dicky.
No.
So if you shit the bed,
I just evaluate risk at all twists and turns, but it's like, I don't know what it would take to get me to do a major live TV performance.
Also, I have to real-time fact check you. You said I wasn't invited to the Golden Globes, and I never am.
This is a one-off. Like, the only reason I got invited to the Emmys was because I was able to help the opening number.
That's a big thing.
Yeah.
but he wanted to be at the
Respect.
Golden Globes, and that's fine.
No, it's fine.
I don't even
I
want to
just-
be there. I want my show to be acknowledged as one of the best shows on TV.
But you know what the racket of the Golden Globes is.
I've
it has
heard about the
nothing
racket.
to
I heard it's a
do.
racket.
It's
I
not
heard
a
it's a racket.
meritocracy. It's only based on getting as many movie stars as possible that have international recognition to that show. Okay?
Thank you.
Keep that in
Yes,
mind
I
when you're
will.
evaluating this.
I will.
We only have to touch on one other thing before we get to the show, Dave, in your story,
Yeah.
which is Freaky Friday, which is a body switching video and song with Chris Brown. 745 million views. That's how many views that fucking
Yeah.
video. Even in your grandiose thinking, that still must shock you. It's nearly 1 billion views.
Well, I feel like in the landscape of music videos, I would imagine if you pressed play on 10 different music videos that have 1 billion views and we all sat and evaluated, I think you would say that Freaky Friday was among the top
5. Let's stick with 5.
Yeah,
Five.
Five seems to be the running number.
as far as it's like funny and catchy, and I feel like it checked every box.
Okay, so ultimately you and Jeff Schaefer create Dave together. And Jeff Schaefer, he was a producer in, I don't know if he ran, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, he runs it now.
So he and Larry, I mean, talk about having an idol and then getting to work with the person
Oh, yeah.
who's been
Oh,
a part
my
of the recipe that is bonkers.
Full circle.
Nobody's going to give me a TV show as a guy who's a rapper who just makes funny rap videos without having someone attached to it to like babysit and make sure that this is actually going accordingly. And I've always have a very strong opinion of what my vision is and what to do. So whoever this person is, it would take a lot for me to like trust what they're saying over what my instincts are. But when it's baked in that this guy is already doing it with your idol, I always say he's like the Bill Belichick to my Tom Brady. And he really is the perfect combination with me to get stuff done.
That's wonderful. Because I would imagine you've been a little misled in that all of your ideas have pretty much worked, but they weren't all going to work, right? You can get a little misled by your own success.
Yeah. Even good ideas don't work sometimes. Most of the time.
The best sketches that were ever written at the Groundlings all bombed. They were for us.
Yeah.
They weren't for America or whatever. So to have a co-pilot that knows how to make a fucking TV show and make it for seasons is imperative. Okay, so I want to tell you the things I love about the show. And the first thing we just started to talk about, which is Gata. He hadn't acted before?
No.
Okay, Gata Monica is one of the most beautiful actors I've ever seen in my life. And this is why I like the show so much. And we should also tip our hat to the shows that came before yours that opened up this realm where it's like you're seeing a comedy, but we're free to do an episode that's all about him being bipolar, which I have to presume with the level of authenticity he played it, he is. You don't have to divulge that.
No, he is. He's publicly.
Okay, great. They have a whole episode where he ramps up. And the acting on his plate is fucking huge.
It is huge.
It's intimidating.
It is
If I
intimidating.
get the script he acted in, I'm like, whoa, boy, you better really figure this out.
That's one of the things I like to do in the show is the more emotionally satisfying and real and human things can be, then the more elegant everything is and the more the comedy will sing. A lot of comedies, I'm just like, why does it have to feel so goofy? I love feeling feelings. And I knew Gata being a guy who traveled around the world with me for like 5 years before even having a show. I know that our dynamic is like pure comedy.
And you've already rehearsed it for 5 years.
Yeah. If you filmed us for 5 years, you would have gotten the show. But I didn't know if he could become the guy that can cry.
Yeah.
And every season I put him in a situation where it's like, I want you to be really emotional for this episode because he is a very emotional guy.
I don't say this to insult you. He's the best actor on the show, and you have a bunch of great actors
For sure.
as guest stars.
He's the heartbeat. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
How did you meet him?
I started to do concerts, especially back in the beginning. I thought like, ooh, I can rap fast. That's one of my skill sets that maybe someone else doesn't have. So I'm going to every song over rap, just show how great I am.
Machine gun everyone.
Then you have to do shows and you're like running out of breath. You know, sometimes rappers go up there and just play their songs and rap over top. I hate that shit.
Unless it's the Emmys.
Exactly. I would never.
8 minutes ago, you
Unless
told
it's
a
the
story about that.
I would never. Unless
Dare
it's
you
nationally.
suggest?
I need a hype man.
Explain what a hype man is. Until I watched your show, I didn't even know they existed.
A lot of rappers historically like go on stage and to get a breath, you'll have someone finish your line for you. So if I'm rapping and my line is about
Monica's teeth.
Monica's teeth and I need to take a breath right now and Gata will be like skeet or like whatever rhymes with it. And then I'll be set up for the next line because I just took my breath. So me and Gata, we're not just winging it. We'll be strategically like, I need this word, that word, and then we'll evolve. And so he's really a key part of any live show I do, besides being such an incredible performer.
What I also glean from it is that he's also there to build your confidence.
Yeah, he's been a huge boost in my confidence in reality. As a guy who never went on stage, it's a lot easier to go on with a guy too.
Yeah. And how did you find him? Did you know him socially first?
No,
Did you audition Hype Man?
My manager at the time used to manage Tyga, and Gata was Tyga's hype man.
That's
my
confusing.
manager.
You can't have two
Gata and
animals.
Tyga,
live-
yeah. At least it's not both mammals. You know, there's,
Oh, that's true.
but they went on tour. My manager at the time worked with Gata in that capacity. He's like, I know this guy, and he's done it in the past for another artist I managed. Like, maybe you'll meet him. And then I meet Gata, and the whole show, and just in general, Gata is very much, he calls it the gander, which is a word he's made up, which is like putting yourself in a position to appear more successful than you are to then continue to elevate.
Interesting.
So the first meeting, he literally brought an intern and a camera
Oh
guy.
my God.
Yeah, he was like, oh yeah, it's just my crew. He like paid people on the spot to
Oh
appear.
You guys are made for each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's like wrapping the report on Frito-Lay.
Yeah, we're such yin and yangs in such an amazing way. Like I said, I've had the most blessed fairy tale life. The adversity that he's gone through in life and what he's had to do to even get to where he is now is so much grander than anything I've ever been through that when I'm like, I'm not on the main stage at this festival. Like, I'm on the B stage.
Yeah,
He's like, shut the fuck up. You know, I've performed in front of of 8 people, and he's right. He's able to allow me to appreciate what we're achieving.
Yeah.
He's very impulsive, where I'm very like, let's take a step back and map out our year. And I think that helps him. Our skill sets are so distinctly opposite that we're able to really help each other thrive.
Well, certainly then, if you were with him for 5 years before the show, and then the show was in 2020, so you've been with him for 8-9 years.
Yeah.
Did you have to learn how to be partnered with somebody that is bipolar and going to have these periods of time where they're going to confuse you?
A few of the instances we've portrayed in the show where I think initially, because Gata and Tyga were really on their way up, and then that kind of fell apart. He went from being a guy that was on the stage at Madison Square Garden to then being back at his mom's house. And then we started rising, and then all of a sudden he's about to star in a TV show. And right before season 1, he kind of went through it, and I think it was just an overwhelming thing to deal with. And I'm watching all of a sudden this guy that I've known for 4 years behave in a kind of a different way 5 days before we have to start shooting the show.
Yeah.
And it was a lot. But man, this guy, season 1, Gata, he put on, I say, a Willis Reed-like performance because he was really going through it emotionally, and he was able to somehow power through it and adjust to these realities on the fly. And maybe it helped make his performance more powerful. Maybe it didn't. I, as a guy who watches every take, Gata season 3 is like money in the bank. I have like 5 different takes that are incredibly wonderful, whereas season 1, maybe I have like 2. And he's just gotten so much better along the way. But it's really interesting to watch him grow and become somebody who, season 1, I could feel him going through it and trying to figure it out, whereas season 3, I don't want to say he's on autopilot, but I don't want him to even read the script before.
Right.
Because I'd rather have this really sharp Gata that's really confident in life and not going through that to just like react and fire on all cylinders.
Yeah, you want him spinning plates.
Yeah.
You don't want him already knowing what he's going to do in a weird way.
Whereas season 1, I'm like, did you read? Like, did you read the script?
How many times did you read it? Yeah. You can't just read it once.
That is a lot, though.
And then season 3 explores all this incredible stuff. And I'm curious, and so many people are fascinated in all the interviews I watch with you. People are endlessly interested in, if it's a show loosely based on your life, what parts are the loosely and what part are your life. And I'm not as interested in any like the specific, like, do you fuck a doll or anything. What I am curious is, season 3 is great. You kind of let yourself become more unlikable than you were in the other 2 seasons, I think.
I think season 2, I'm the least likable person.
Okay. That's fair.
And I think season 3, I tried to be likable.
But I mean, by the way, it's a similar arc to Atlanta in that we meet you, you're not successful, and then you become really successful.
Yeah.
And I think you're pretty honest about that journey, and I have to imagine your own journey informs that.
Yeah, I will say I think I'm definitely less of an asshole in reality. We kind of have to force conflict for the narratives.
When that happens, are you uncomfortable about that, or are you fine with it?
I relish the challenge of having to be unlikable, yet being so hopefully likable that you can do it.
That people will stick with you.
Yeah, exactly. But there are times where it's too much that I don't believe it to be real.
Right.
Because like no one is this big of an asshole. No one is this clueless.
Because the only thing I have to compare it to is I was on a show for 6 years, and I'm not playing Dax Shepard on the show. I'm playing Crosby Braverman. But I come to love Crosby Braverman. I come to get pretty protective. And I think I found myself having more and more arguments with people about, this is so out of left field that he would do this. And I get more and more protective. And then also having the voice remembering, but this is a TV show that requires you to do things that are out of your character to do new things. It's hard to love it and not be protective of it.
Yeah. Curb would not be Curb without Larry being the most intolerable force, you know what I mean? But I happen to find it all very charming and endearing. And
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, for me, honest, which is what cuts through any of the behavior. It's like, it's kind of rooted in how we all think.
Yeah, but I think at the core of everything I do in life is probably this kid who's always wanted to be liked. I navigated that by, I was like, I happen to be funny and people laugh, so that's how I get people to like me. And so I think inherently there is this desperation to be liked inside
You'll still
of me.
drink the bottle of ketchup at camp to make people laugh.
Yeah. I don't want people to not like my character. I want people to root for the main character to succeed, and I think we end up getting there, but it has to be a journey. Like season 2, the end, when Gata comes on stage at the VMAs, that wouldn't have been nearly as satisfying if I wasn't being the opposite of that along the way.
The most selfish, self-centered prick. Okay, but on season 3, Killer Mike's on season 3. Usher, Rachel McAdams, Brad Pitt, Don Cheadle, Rick Ross.
Oh my God.
Fully loaded.
If we track from the real life, which is the show comes out on FX, it's got a 1% chance of succeeding. And then within 3 seasons, it grows to this. And this is what I'm curious for you emotionally, because I think I'm like you. I'm an approval junkie, and I love being validated by
Yes.
people, and I love being validated by people that I think have status.
Yes.
I live for that.
Me too, and I wish I didn't.
Looking at this, I was thinking that I am in the same dangerous situation that you are in life, which is you run out of people to get validated by. Like once Brad Pitt comes on the show in season 3, I can imagine it almost getting very scary about what the engine is going forward and having to maybe redefine what the engine is or what the fuel source is. Does any of that ring true?
It does ring true. And the core lesson of season 3, which is in a nutshell centered around looking for love the whole time. I'm trying to fall in love while simultaneously like being this validation junkie addict or whatever. By the end of the season, you learn you can't even find love until you actually love yourself. Loving yourself doesn't mean you love yourself because Brad Pitt says you should love yourself. Loving yourself is just actually truly loving yourself.
Doing esteemable
Yeah.
acts and liking who you are.
Yeah, and there are a lot of lessons in the show that my character goes through that I know to be true that I wish I really, really fully
Embody.
Internalize,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I know logically that I shouldn't care if I'm not at the Golden Globes. I can't control the little feeling inside of my chest that's like, But I'm sure that's part of growing up. And the most important thing is being aware of these things. Making the show helps me become more and more aware because we're literally just nitpicking every single psychological thing I go through in life and pushing it and trying to portray different things. But you end season 3 with Brad Pitt and Drake. And what do you do
What
next?
do we do?
Yeah.
Stay tuned for more Armchair Expert, if you dare.
So for me, in my real life experience, I only wanted to get into show business to get on Letterman. Literally, I didn't have a desire to be an actor. I had a desire to sit on the couch next to David Letterman. That's all. And I did that. And that is the highlight of
Yeah.
the whole show business career.
Yeah.
And then there was a moment where he came to my house and sat on that couch so I could interview him. And that was rewarding and dangerous. And in the wake of it, I found myself really having to go back to the drawing board. Like, oh, wow, that was the one. What could I look forward to with that same zeal? And then for me, ultimately, it was great because I had to remember, no, the thing that I like that's substantive is I like to connect with human beings
Yeah.
when I wipe that other thing away. And it almost weirdly led me back to the thing that I loved about it from the beginning. But it's a ride, and I don't know that everyone traverses that successfully.
I like being forced to be like, oh, now I have to reinvent things or find other ways. Because the show takes up so much time and I put so much effort into it and everything. It's like a blur. When I think about life, sometimes I'm just like, well, what just happened? Because now 4 years have gone by. I wouldn't want to do that forever. I want to make music too, and I want to have a personal life too, and I have all these different things. I think initially after college, it's like, I'll do anything to make the show Dave and just only focus on that. But when you do it and you actually do it, you're able to be like, well, what else is there in life? That's why I'm so excited about when I created the soundtrack album,
Penith.
Penith.
Penith. Okay, yeah.
Like if
Zenith.
Mike Tyson said penis.
Yeah. Okay, Penith.
It's like, oh my God, it's been 8 years since I even mixed a song.
Yeah, are you mad about that?
I'm not mad about it because
You've been doing other shit.
I've been doing other shit, but I'm also like, well, there is opportunity cost to everything. It's a shame. There are a lot of fans of mine that just love the music.
Of course.
And they feel like, fuck you, man. You haven't put an album out in 8 years. I just have kind of refallen in love with making music, and I'm hyper aware that being a rapper is not something that is easy to do when you're like 45 as it is when you're 35. And I'm just like, I have limited time here to do that thing that I said I could do in 2014 when I started falling in love with being a rapper. And that's exciting to me to be able to have these other things going on.
Yeah, well, I have to imagine in many ways you've fully reached your potential on Dave.
Yeah.
And I hope that doesn't mean there's no more Dave, but I imagine you think you still have some potential to reach musically.
So much potential to reach musically. There's also, when I thought about my career as that kid, I thought about movies. I love movies. I'm writing a movie that I want to star and write, direct. When I started to do everything, I was like, you're a comedian. And then I became a rapper. And now if I had to put one word to me, I would put the word filmmaker. Because like I really feel I'm meant to be a director. I look at a guy like Ben Stiller. That's what I want to be. I just love storytelling. But sometimes I have to remind myself, like I was with Jonah Hill the other day. I was talking about these ambitions of mine of being like the consummate auteur. If you ask me what I want to do, it's that. He was like, but don't forget that you're funny. And what I started this whole thing for, because a lot of people can be auteurs. Probably fewer can be genuinely
He's
funny.
a great person to give that piece of advice.
But I guess as your older brother now,
Who, him?
me.
Oh, you.
Oh,
Yes, I'm speaking now as your older brother.
Sure.
Okay, if you'll allow me.
Yes, please.
Because I'm 13 years further down
Yes.
this road.
This dumbass path.
Yes, and it's truly fun and worth exploring. And honestly, all of us just benefit from it. I get enormous joy out of watching Dave, period. I'm so grateful this is the journey you're on.
Yeah.
Because I get to consume it. But my guess is, and I did the same thing, I'm defining my identity by a lot of things that are extrinsic and work related.
For sure. And it's disgusting and I'm sick of it. I
And it
can't
just-
get out of it. I don't know what to do.
I want to hear about that angst. My thing was I directed a movie that worked really well. I got to do a big studio movie. That movie did not make money. And I had this 6-month period where my identity was fucked. It was gone.
Yeah.
And it was one I had been leaning on for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it was a terribly scary place, but luckily I was a dad. And so anytime I would get kind of low about it, I'd walk in the house and be like, wait, fucking writer director's not even a thing.
That's helpful.
Dad's a thing.
I don't have that kid to fall back
Right.
on.
And I'm just saying it really...
I should have kids is what you're saying.
He has pushed them on a lot of
I do
people who've
push
come
them,
in
especially on folks like you and I. And
I need to
Jonah,
have
Jonah
kids.
just had a kid.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Life is too one-dimensional otherwise. You're right. My entire happiness and identity is rooted in the success of the art that I make. And it's like ridiculous.
so dangerous.
It's so dangerous. I always say, like, in theory, I wake up and I'm so happy every day. But I also have had the luckiest life where my wildest dreams not only come true, but I always want to be a comedian. And like I've essentially get to play in the NBA too. That's like how ridiculous being a rapper is for like a
Superman
suburban
and
Jewish
Batman.
kid. Exactly. I always say like maybe I'm depressed, but everything goes perfectly.
Yes.
So I'm just happy. It's so dangerous to live your life this way. I know that it's the wrong way to live life. I'm so aware of it. Sometimes I'm sick of myself for being so wrapped up in the success of the show or the success of a music video and like the views it gets and the Instagram followers. It's the wrong way to live life. I'm so aware of it. Yet I sometimes just can't.
Totally. You're powerless.
I'm powerless.
I get it.
But you're also young, and even though you've been doing it for a long time, it's still new in that way. You're young.
Yeah.
It takes time.
I think the most important thing is being aware of all this stuff.
Yes.
And now that I'm aware of it, I am able to logically, when I get that feeling in my chest of bitterness based on like the lack of success of a moment, I'm able to take a step back and be like, of course you feel this way, but logically you shouldn't. I don't know how to control what feelings exist inside of my chest and my head and my heart.
Yeah, there's an enormous
Yeah.
divide between your intellect and your emotions.
Exactly.
I am of the opinion that you have to have a game plan. I don't think these things will happen on their own. You had to decide to go to the department to shoot the fucking rap, to put it up. It wasn't like you were going to walk into the meeting and someone's going to hand you a tape and you had done it. And similarly, that other aspect of life requires the exact same amount of focus and planning, or it won't just knock on your door.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my own personal belief on it.
I want kids. I'm hoping that I'm living in this self-fulfilling prophecy that really is kind of impossible to ever like find full satisfaction or peace.
Which again, we'll benefit from. Thank you.
Yep. And logically, the thought of a kid, I'm like, well, wait a minute. Now I have to give up my entire life and live it for something else. That sounds like the last thing in the world I want to do. But I've been living this other version of my life where it's completely self-fulfilling for 10 years. Everything goes as well as it possibly could go. And there's still a full-on restlessness inside of me.
Right.
And I'm hoping that the kid solves that restlessness. However, another part of me has this fear it won't. You'll be just as selfish when you have the kid, and then you'll really feel fucked. I don't think that's true. I think I have too big of a heart.
I think that's
It's
true.
not gonna happen.
Or you'll work on
It's just
yourself.
other kids I'm just like so unmoved by.
Same. Right as we were making the decision, we were out with our good friends and their kid, and it was a disaster, and the dinner was ruined. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is what we're going to do? But I can just assure you, they put the little baby in your hands, and you look at the little baby, and you know, like, oh, they know immediately looking at you, you're responsible for me.
Yeah.
And something truly magical happens.
There's got to be a reason everyone does it.
Something kicks in that is unimaginable until it happens.
Even though I have a dog, it's different.
I would argue it's much different. Kristen had thousands of dogs,
Yeah.
and she too. And both of us were on the fence about it. We had a good life, and we traveled,
Yeah.
and we weren't suffering.
But it's the best thing you've ever done.
I'm telling you by a factor of 100.
Yeah. Then I'm happy to say that I still have the best part of life to look forward to.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's
Unless
lovely.
even if my dick doesn't impregnate properly, like I always
It
have this fear of
will.
my semen. You adopt.
You adopt.
Yeah,
Also,
but also
there's
it's gonna work.
Modern medicine is
Miraculous.
it is miraculous.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I always feel compelled to do this, which is so annoying, I know. But I don't think having a kid is the only option for peace. I really don't.
I would imagine it's not.
I know every time I share my personal opinion, I get accused of shaming people who don't have kids, but I wanted to be clear. I'm sharing with you my personal experience in life.
Yeah.
That's it.
You are, but you're also telling him that's
I want to do it. I want to do it.
Yeah, and you should.
I would tend to agree. My problem is I just feel like all the things that someone would say to teach you about how you're not thinking the right way, I am already aware of. That's the weird thing. So I'm not learning new information. And I guess I would just need to train my brain.
You're still going to feel the feeling every time. Your brain is still going to have all the thoughts. It's a matter of then knowing, oh, this is that thought that leads me here. I don't want to go there. It takes a lot of fucking effort to be constantly evaluating your emotions and thoughts, but you can't just hope that they're not going to happen. They are gonna.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Here, I want to deduct the baby from it, and I actually want to isolate why, for me, it's been incredible. I, up until that point, was focused on the love I could receive, and that felt good. But it was very temporary. Again, I do know Brad Pitt. It felt incredible. I've gone and ridden motorcycles with him. It's insane. But it's very temporary.
Yeah.
It wears off quickly and I need another hit. When I was forced to flip the equation into how much love I give, lo and behold, peace is on the other side of the amount of love you're giving. It's not the amount of love, for me, that I was receiving.
I don't read. I'm not a big reader, but I did read the first half of a book called The Second Mountain, which is all about how, by design, we live our lives trying to get up our mountain. That's not happiness. Real happiness is only when you give.
You start sharing what you got on that mountain.
Yeah, and then that's the second. It adds up. It makes sense. Life can't be this one-dimensional. I've achieved everything I've ever wanted to achieve kind of already.
Right. And you run out of shit to achieve. And
there's got to be a whole lot more to life. And there is. I am globally happy, truly, every day.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be a downer. What I'm trying to do is, when I meet someone that I feel like I share a similar disposition, and I genuinely like
Thank you. I like you too.
I have this, and it's the mountain thing. I haven't read that book, but my therapist told me about it. And yes, my therapist told me, he's like, you've reached the age where it's like you have to transition from getting the approval of people you like to mentoring people you like. So giving the things away that you've gathered and that you're going to find more joy in that than you ever found in receiving it. That's why I'm saying I don't think it's baby specific. I think it's giving specific.
Yeah. Okay, let's give back more.
You're so fucking cute, and I like you so much. As well as I would hope that it could have. But really quick, let's just hone in on what's special about Penith.
Yeah.
Did it, right? I nailed it.
It's been 8 years since I've even put out a body of work, and I just think being able to have the opportunity to hear present-day Lil Dicky is just a very satisfying thing to offer.
It would kill you if I played Monica 5 seconds of this?
Miss Rick Adams?
Yeah.
No. You're playing it off Spotify or something?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Is there another happy
I don't
moment
know
to use
why.
where you'll
I just
get more?
thought in my head right there, I was like, well, are you playing the rough mix?
Oh,
I for whatever reason thought you had my demo.
I have it all. I have your scratch track.
That's how long it's been since I've put music out on a streaming platform.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I can't believe you have access to my music right now.
Yes, just the line.
Play it.
Okay, great. Don't think about Brad.
This is a song by Rachel McAdams.
You don't even care about me.
You're going to get
She's
so
also
horny,
on
Monica.
About you.
She was on the show as well.
Movies, but I think that you're the one. Rachel, let me be your Mr. McAdams.
It is really
Rachel,
already
they gon'
really
call
good.
me Mr. McAdams. I take your name, girl, facts. It's insanely far-fetched. I ain't playing why you think I've been rapping to be Mr. McAdams. Say, don't lie to me, don't lie to me, don't lie. You think I'm fucking sick. You think I lost my shit. You think I'm weird AF. But that endearing freckle up on your chin is too much. I got a freckle on my face, too. I know you've dated Taylor Kitsch. And I know you've seen Ryan Gosling's dick. Oh, girl, I don't know it all, girl. I just wanna take you to a ball, have a ball, girl. Valet will call me Mr. McAdams.
I love this.
Wait till you hear the Brad Pitt line. It's so fucking funny.
I love this too. This is one of my favorite songs.
Great.
I ain't playing why you think I've been rapping to be Mr. McAdams. Say yes. Are you a blonde or brunette? You pull them both off like socks in a bed. Notebook, keep it had a little bit of red. I don't know why I'm telling you about your hair. You would know best, you was there at your hair. Girl, like a fest that I suck dick. Not suck dick like gave head. I'm just bad at doing this shit. Girl, just let me prove that I'm him. Heard you're 5'4", I bet you ain't even know that's my ideal height. I'm 6 foot, 5'11". I'm 5'10". Friends say I'm funny, and I got fans too, so I can relate to this being off-putting. But I just know you'd like what I could give. Imagine guac without no chips. Imagine me up at your door, out of nowhere. What would you say? What would we do? Probably be weird. Too much build up, too much pressure. Or maybe we would fight like rabbits. Maybe I'm your Brad Pitt. Fuck Brad Pitt, don't think about him. I'm Mr. McAdams.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm glad you played it.
Yeah.
Fuck Brad Pitt. Don't think about him.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
so good.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, it has like an undeniable emotionality to
It
it.
warms my
Yeah.
heart, that song.
Yeah. For Monica, it's Matt Damon.
Yeah.
Right. We all have our version of that.
We do.
And you just certain your heart would be completely
Yeah.
full and
Yes.
exploding
If they only
looked-
met you, they'd know.
I don't know if you noticed when you sat down and peed, but there is a standees of Monica being kissed by
Sometimes
Matt
dreams do
Damon in
come
the
true.
shower.
It's real? What's a stand ease?
It's a photo that we made into a whole.
It's a real
standee.
photo.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's, in,
So Matt
it's in the
Damon-
shower. He was on.
He put
and
his hands on you.
He kissed her on the forehead, and she had a smile. And I've known her for 8 years. I've never seen it.
It's
I
the love
didn't
of my
know it
life.
exists.
Yeah, I understand. I
Get
understand
it.
completely.
You get it.
Now, what if you guys saw Matt Damon and Rachel McAdams engaged in making out? Would you be?
I would hate it.
You would hate it.
I would have no problem with it.
You would be supportive.
Wow.
Yeah.
You want her to
Very
be happy.
open.
I need Rachel to be happy.
I'm only okay with him being with me. And
How's that
being
going?
happy. It's not going great since he is married with like 5 children.
Yeah.
And she also seems so cool and nice and
Sure she
pretty.
is.
She's
Rats.
perfect.
Is McAdams married?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. You didn't learn that while you were shooting with her?
She's definitely has a partner. I think they're married. She definitely lives and has kids with a guy.
Oh, well, there we go. That's, yeah.
But
okay,
was that
the ship
so
is sailed.
fun?
So fun. Yeah, I'm lying in bed with Rachel McAdams.
And did you have that moment I hope for, and I've had it in real life, which is like, I know I'm not going to be with this person, but I'm looking for one moment where I go, yeah, I think we could have been.
I didn't have that moment.
You didn't.
I just had such respect for the moment in general of the child in me who always dreamt of being with Rachel McAdams. I know she's married and has children.
Totally.
To be seen by her in real life.
The smile is not, oh my God, we could have been together.
No.
It's, what is this life of mine?
Exactly.
That has got me here.
Yes.
It's so beautiful.
It's beautiful. She's just as delightful as I would have ever imagined her.
Wonderful.
Yeah, she's great.
What a wonderful note to end on. How many tracks are on Penith?
22.
See, I don't remember that many songs in the show.
I know, that's the thing. There are. There's more. I only put on the songs that I believed, if you haven't seen the show, they stand alone and it's got my stamp of like, I'm fine to release this right now in 2024 because I fuck with it. There are a lot of songs in the show that are really funny or silly that don't pass that checkbox for me.
Right.
So there's actually probably like 40 songs that have been in the show.
Wow.
These are like the best 22 of them. I'm telling you, even though you've seen every episode, you'll listen to this album and you haven't heard the songs. You've heard like
totally.
8 seconds of different moments here and there.
Even when I was listening to this morning, obviously
Yeah.
I saw it in the show, but I actually don't remember.
I hate to say it, but I think the show can oftentimes cheapen the
Yeah.
music. You can't do the whole thing and you don't give it the same evaluation that you would. It just doesn't feel real. You'll appreciate the music way more listening to it than you would if it was in the show watching it.
What's interesting is when you hear it in the show, you've joined other people's lives, but when you listen to it in your car driving somewhere, the song has joined your life.
There's something that music does on a connectivity level that even I don't think film can do. And I'm a way bigger film TV fan in general. I'm not this guy who's obsessed with music beyond being obsessed with his own music career. I don't like going to concerts. I'm not listening to music all day long. But I do think that there's a certain thing when people come up to me and like I see it in their eyes that they're the most hardcore Dave/Lil Dicky fan, they always talk about music. They don't talk about the show. And that's surprising because I think the show is so much better than the music that has been released. That's why I'm happy to release this body of work that I think has caught up. I'm only now catching up to the show musically, and that's why I'm trying to jump on it and continue to make music because I really feel like I'm at the peak of my powers.
Yeah. I'll look forward to it. Will you give me the Rachel McAdams moment I want? Because we're not going to do it. We're both busy. But we could have been friends.
We will be friends. Why can't we be friends?
I have an appetite for it.
I think that
I like you.
I think we'll start as like distant.
Let's exchange numbers at the
Exchange
end of this and
numbers.
see
Oh.
how the texting goes.
It'll go really good. I can't wait to text.
I got a pretty good text game, too.
me too.
I want to brag. All right. I adore you. I'm so fucking happy you came today. Good luck.
I
with
adore
Penith.
both of
fun.
you.
Very
Honestly,
fun.
you guys
Thank
are
you.
cool, and we would be friends, and we should be friends.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll be
that's
We all
well,
live in
now
LA.
you live very close. In
Yeah.
Venice, it was a non-starter.
Yeah,
The
Honestly.
Sportsman's Lodge is easy.
yeah. Let's
Easy
go. Let's go
peasy.
get a
Let's do it.
rotisserie chicken.
That's right.
Let's go grab a
Let's do it.
rotisserie
Yeah.
chicken. All right. Good luck, Dave. Not a physicist. Thank God.
Thank you for having me. I'm big fans, and I appreciate you.
Next up is the fact check. I don't even care about facts. I just want to get in your pants.
I want to make something very clear.
Do it.
I am not dipping.
Yeah, okay. I want to address this. So in the middle of we just did an interview.
Yeah. I was
and
even thinking of the pictures. People are probably going to be like,
I saw it and I was like, oh,
damn it.
I
2
looked
weeks.
over. I saw a tin.
Uh-huh. And pouches.
And right, but it was open and there were pouches. I knew then it wasn't your normal thing, so I didn't know what it was.
Right.
But I knew it wasn't your normal dip.
So it's not tobacco.
What is it?
So I was having dinner with Kutcher, who has had a checkered past of dipping himself.
Sure.
So I was telling him, I quit
Yeah.
for New Year's, and
Yeah.
he goes, you know what I've been doing is just chewing these green leaves.
Okay.
There's a company that just does.
Is it like tea?
Yes, it's just like an organic mint tea bag.
Interesting.
And he's like, it totally satiates the oral fixation. And he's like, it's just something to do. And it kind of replaces that thing you want that I missed, the ceremony of putting
Right.
it in, and it lasts for this amount of time.
But you don't have to spit it out.
No, I just swallow the whole thing because it's just
that's
it's
great.
just tea. It's just tea leaves, green leaf.
Oh my God.
It's mint. You could have one, in fact.
Maybe I will.
Yeah, they're really neat. I was pretty delighted. I ordered 3 of them last night. And then, of course, my children were like, Dad, you're not supposed to dip. And I'm like, hold on, it's not dip. I almost could not convince them this wasn't dip.
It looks just like it.
Yes, it's identical, and it's supposed to.
It's supposed to. Yeah, okay. I like this.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm probably going to hate them because it's not tobacco.
Right.
But then I did a couple last night, and I was like, hey, now.
Does it have caffeine? Because green tea does.
You would think, but
Maybe
here,
the-
smell them and stuff. And I'm not even positive they're tea, but they would have to be, right? What else?
Green leaf organic mint 20 pouches. Okay, hold on.
Let me do some stuff.
Green leaf is an all-natural energy supplement designed to provide a healthy alternative to tobacco products. A unique blend of green tea, peppermint, turmeric,
Ooh.
baking soda.
Oh, is that good or bad? Oh, that's your toothpaste.
Exactly.
Okay, this may replace your Arm & Hammer.
And stevia is packed into each pouch to help freshen your breath, boost your energy, help whiten your teeth, and help combat dependency to tobacco products. This is great.
Yeah, it's nice.
Let me smell one.
Because I'm going to the sand dunes, and this is.
It smells
Go ahead, put
good.
one between the cheek and gum.
I'm gonna put one here for later.
Because it might be like your tooth. Remember, you liked toothpicks. You and I were both kind of addicted to toothpicks
Yeah.
for a while. So,
Oh, wow, good catch.
thank you so much. That one came a bit outside. That was out of my strike. What do they call it, Rob?
Strike zone.
Strike zone. It was pretty outside the strike zone.
Got to keep you on your toes.
But going to the dunes is ripe with triggers, which is like I can tell myself I'm out of town. I could tell myself, oh, I'm only going to dip in the desert, right?
Yep.
I could have all these things. So I think going there was something to just kind of chew on.
I really think that's smart. You're going in with a plan.
Thank you.
I'll try it later, but currently I'm drinking spearmint tea. I'm trying to drink 2 cups of spearmint tea a day.
Does it have some kind of medicinal benefit, or just
I've heard
arbitrarily you want to do 2?
Well, on the package it says you can have 2 a day.
Oh, why?
And
Why only 2?
maybe sometimes
Honest?
when I drink too much tea, I feel a little weird.
Okay.
It's too healthy.
Do
I need a little
do you get Hannes?
I did yesterday, but not from that.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
You didn't even tell me. As we know, that's the greatest sign of good health.
Yeah, I was really healthy.
Okay.
I don't think that had anything to do with the tea. Maybe it did. I don't know. But anyway, I'm trying to drink.
Oh my God, I got to tell you something.
Go ahead.
There are sometimes I'm really annoyed by these comments, and then sometimes they're so preposterous I think it's laughable. So
Okay.
I read this comment after the expert we had on, Matthew Desmond, and the comment was like, this was such a good episode, and I would love to be able to send it to friends, but then you have to make the fact check so disgusting with that potty talk. Oh, the squatty potty. This person was so
About that?
That was in the fact check
Yeah.
that we were talking
That's
about.
like the least.
I know, if like you're sensitive and fragile to that.
How are they listening to any of our
I
shows?
don't know. But this
boy.
person was like, well, now I can't send it. Just totally disappointed in us that we dared have a squatty potty conversation on the backside of the Desmond episode.
I'm sorry, person.
Tame.
Also,
too.
lighten
so
up.
It's like your
person-
where your knees are.
Exactly. We
know.
weren't even. I'm sure we talked about poop because we do.
It's part of the squatty potty.
It's part of the squatty potty. But look, I would hope that this person I feel sad for them a little because I think they're repressing
something's
going on and
Yeah.
it's repression based.
I think so.
And I think it could be that they're impacted bowelly. And so they should probably get a squatty potty
to
release that.
Okay. That's probably great advice.
Spearmint tea.
I tried to imagine. Sorry, I got it. One more bit on this.
Okay.
I literally tried to imagine listening and going, "Oh, fuck, I can't believe you're talking." Like I
know.
tried to imagine.
I can imagine it.
Okay, so what do you must do
I'm-
some sense memory or some replacement?
I'm doing a replacement.
Okay. What would we be talking about?
Not us.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about other shows I
Yeah.
listen to, and I'm thinking of one specifically I won't give details on. I stopped listening to this show.
Because of this.
I really enjoyed the show,
Uh-huh.
but the host, they can't help but be a Republican. That's like they can't help but show that I'm not aligned with them.
Okay.
And it took a while to get there. I love the show, but and I would have that reaction when he would say things. I was like, why do you have to take it here? Why do you have to say this? Why?
Right.
And I eventually stopped listening
Right.
because it did not align with my values. And
I
so
gotcha.
perhaps this doesn't align with their values, and that's okay.
They're not. Is that person not moving their bowels? I mean, this is.
Some people hate potty talk.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
That
We're
is.
not for you.
Yeah.
That's just the truth.
I wrote, "Sounds like you made the right choice."
Oh, okay.
They were like, "I'm never listening to the fact check again."
Oh.
I'm like, "Okay, sounds like you made the right choice."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think you should engage with people like that.
Well,
because it's
sometimes
not
the best I
fair.
can do.
It's not fair though. 'Cause
But I
there's-
engage with people on positive
I
stuff all
know,
the time.
but,
Yeah.
like-
I'm doing a lot of engagement.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I would prefer that those people don't get any comments
Okay.
from us.
Okay.
Because then just don't listen to the fact check. You don't have
Right.
the fact that you have to make it so known doesn't deserve anything from us.
Right.
Anyway, so
What I
spearmint
liked
tea-
is, well, I guess it's a little bit of a punishment. It's posed as some kind of threat.
yeah.
Like, I'm not going to listen. And so a little bit of my sense of justice is like, I also want them to know, like, that is fine with me.
I know where you're coming from. I do.
Right.
I also just know that's not how it works, and that they do get confirmation for
Sure.
their bad behavior.
Yeah.
They get some validation for it. That it was big enough to elicit a response.
I can't win this internet thing.
I know.
I have made lots of progress, though.
Yeah, it's
I used
hard.
to get into it on Twitter. Early days of Twitter.
Yeah.
I'd be in like a 2-hour long fucking back and forth debates with strangers. I just couldn't resist.
I know.
Yeah.
Spearmint tea.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Spearmint.
The reason I'm doing it
Oh, yes.
is because I've heard it's good for your skin. It's
Okay.
good for hormonal acne. I've heard.
Okay.
And my skin has been in bad shape this year. It's obviously so
It's
hard
also
to
been
know.
in great shape this year.
Well,
Because there was this period, if I'm remind you.
I mean, this year is in 2024.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like in the past month.
2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
in the
okay.
past 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Okay.
In this last cycle, my skin has been bad. And there's so many factors. Travel,
Presents.
Christmas food, so much travel, stress.
Yeah.
Lots of
Let's not rule out
stress.
the stress.
Yeah, tons of stress, but also hormones. I can feel it. I feel like since I started my period last, I feel like I've been about to start my period for a month.
Oh, man.
It's
That's rough.
awful. But then I am now almost at the end. I wonder, I bet this person hates period talk too. She probably doesn't have a period.
Maybe. She might be menopausal. Post-period.
Oh, okay.
Post-period.
She could also be menopausal, which is why she's upset.
Well, let's not paint the
I got-
menopause.
I
You
don't-
said it, not the
I don't know
man.
what she's going through. I'm just
Right.
trying to lend some compassion.
I know it really deeply upset her to hear about the squatty potty. I know that.
Well, yeah. So she's not going to like this period talk. But anyway, I just
Great
had a
way to
lot
put
of
tampon.
hormone-
Do you ever use a squatty potty to put a tampon in? Maybe we can bring both things together and make it.
I'm sure I'm sure I have.
Yeah, it seems like you would.
I don't wear tampons as much anymore, though.
Oh, okay. Your post tampon,
I
but
do.
not menopausal or perimenopausal.
Well, I don't know. I could be peri, but I mainly try to use period underwear now.
Okay.
But also I do.
Because it's healthier?
I mean, yeah, it's like not ever. I mean, there's like all natural tampons, whatever.
Sure.
I'm not going
A lot of great
to
products
get
on the
into
market.
beef with the tampon industry. But yeah, having like cotton up there isn't amazing.
Sure.
And for me, a big fear of forgetting.
Yes, you have a big TSS.
Remember when I had
Toxic
it?
shock syndrome.
Almost.
You can't say I had it and then say almost 3 seconds later.
Well,
Remember when I
I
died?
did.
Almost?
Yeah. But anyway, my hormones have been all over the place. I'm trying to cure it with spearmint tea.
How's it going? Your skin looks really good from here.
It's too hard to know. It's
Your
too
skin looks
early.
great. I'm staring at you.
No, it's not.
No, it does.
Don't look
You're
at
not
it.
going to be able to see it by looking at your computer screen.
Don't look at it.
Okay.
Don't look at me.
I guess I can stare at the quilt.
Yeah, that's a picture
But
of
you're,
me.
that's not, this is preferable.
All right, so I'll TBD on the spearmint tea.
TBD. We'll find out.
On
But
this
right now,
guarantee.
it seems like it's working.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's
I'm not filling you full of bullshit.
Well, your
What am I?
eyes.
How
I
are you
don't
going to
know.
invalidate this?
I know that you want me to feel good. It's
No,
a nice
I'm
thing. It's a nice thing. Or your eyes are as bad as mine, maybe, which is great for all of us.
Listen, your skin looks incredible from right here.
I
It's
have a little
caramely
bit of-
and smooth. And who doesn't like caramels?
Me, actually.
That woman.
And that woman.
Yeah.
That's where me and the woman can.
See eye to
Find
eye. Maybe that's
solid
the common ground. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I want to, but I don't. It's too chewy.
Oh, wow.
It's just too chewy.
What
How
if
do
you let it dissolve in your mouth on your
too
tongue?
long? That's all day.
I love
No,
it.
you gotta get like fresh. Like,
You brought
good-
us some delicious.
Yeah, that'll dissolve in like 10
I've
minutes.
tried it, Rob. I don't. This is like grass volleyball.
Yeah.
This is a SAT question.
Hmm.
It's grass volleyball is to yummy Rob's caramels.
Right.
Duck fat caramels.
I don't.
Duck fat caramel.
I don't.
Olive and Sinclair.
I want to love it.
Have you
so
tried
much.
the duck butter caramel?
Ew, Dax.
Sorry, but I'm on a mission to destroy the.
Well, it's good timing with little Dicky.
It is. It is.
Oh, that's true.
Oh shit! Because this is Dave.
That's true. Oh yeah. How could we not be talking about?
Yeah, if someone feels like there was a radical transition between Dave and this,
They're wrong. But actually, that's not necessarily true because I don't. I haven't watched the show, and I assumed Dave would come in and be like nasty, just nasty.
right? Yeah, you said that.
I
as
did
much.
say it,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
why I can
which
say it
was the
again.
funnest part.
Yeah, he's not at all. He's very smart and normal.
Yes, and sweet.
And very sweet. And
Yeah,
so, in
and cute.
fact, this is not really fair to him because we are making the stereotype real.
Okay. Well, we'll march forward regardless.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'm going to the dunes.
Yeah.
Generally, not even generally, always,
Always.
I am not prepared. It's always day of that I have to leave, that I'm scrambling around and I'm running and I'm getting a battery and nothing's loaded and all this shit.
Yeah, you said this last time. Are there updates?
Well, I guess the thing that was still hanging that no one gives a fuck about an update on is I was waiting for the bus to not be operational. That was like I was convinced that there's no way it would go this smooth. So last night, pulled the pop outs in, fired it up, all the suspension filled with the appropriate PSI of pressure.
Wow.
It leveled correctly. It's clearly can't wait to be driven and pull that trailer. And then I hooked the Raptor up to the little trailer, so it's ready to get in and drive away. So all I gotta do is slide the bus back, hook it up to the trailer, and I'm off. The food is the best it's ever been.
Ooh.
I downloaded movies for us to watch.
Aw.
It's so much nicer to be ahead of it. Because usually I'm like, what I want to be is what I was this time, which is like, I'm so excited to go. But generally, I'm just completely filled with anxiety and I'm not going to have everything done and nothing's running. I'm going to have to fix shit out there. So it's like, I'm not excited on the day I go.
Yeah.
I'm panicked.
Yeah.
So this is lovely.
I'm proud of you.
I did a 6-mile hike yesterday.
Yeah. Incredible.
Loved it.
Yeah.
What else is new?
Okay, hold on. Should we talk about our creative difference?
Oh, sure.
Well, just because we started to talk about it at the
Well, I think we should talk about it on Molly's episode.
but we never got into it.
Well, we didn't get into it on the episode, but we talked about it, which I think in the fact check of that one, it would be satisfying
Okay.
to hear about it.
But do you think that will stay in because that's part of the problem?
Sure, let's talk about it. So
Okay.
go ahead.
I want to say we had a creative difference.
Yeah.
Which is so minor.
It's so minor and it's so rare.
It's true. We almost never have creative differences. We have personal differences
Yeah, in life.
that
we-
sometimes bleed in here.
Sure, but gratefully, we have a very similar tone in what we think things should be.
Creatively.
We
Yeah.
generally like and hate the same movies. We like and hate the same shows.
We are very in line with our goal for this show.
Absolutely.
In this network.
Yep.
Which helps, right? If everyone's following the same North Star,
Yeah.
it's easy. And you reached out today saying that you felt that the Kurt and Wyatt episode, the beginning, was too long before we start, which I agree.
Oh, you do?
I do agree.
Oh, okay.
It was so much longer
Yes.
that for
Well-
me it was so tight.
And by the way, that was my assumption. To me, it was just like when I've edited a scene in a movie I've shot, and I've been in there working on it for 8 days, and then I finally show Nate and Penith, and it's like, it's still long, but relative to what I was dealing with, it feels incredibly short. So I
Yes.
don't really have the perspective. So I just felt like I was never like, Monica has bad taste or she's critical. She's not critical. I was just like, yes, she probably already cut a bunch out, but I was listening to it going like, I think I would have turned this off by now.
Yeah. Because I agree.
I actually think we agree.
I think we agree too.
Because I think the 30 seconds of it is awesome. It's very much when you're watching a stand-up special and you get to see backstage for a minute, you get to see some other things.
Yeah.
But I think for me, that's got to be really short.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not really a difference at all.
Right.
But you sent
and
that.
at this point, if you're hearing this, you won't even be able to compare it because it's gone.
Yeah, you asked for it to get trimmed.
Retrimmed.
The whole reason I wanted to bring up the creative difference is because I think you and I are getting better at navigating problems.
Yeah, I do
Together.
too. Yep. Yeah. I'm
so-
grateful for it.
Me too. Yeah, it takes time to understand how to do it.
Well, I would hope that both of us feel over time that we both genuinely appreciate what the other person adds, and we're less. It's less likely to go into a zone of like, this person thinks I don't know what I'm doing, or
Right.
I'm not good enough, or I'm not any of these things. I hope that's what we earn over long friendship.
Yeah, I think so.
Skin looks great.
Stop looking at it.
Rob, how's your skin looking?
No,
over there?
don't look at it.
It's great for me.
Smooth and caramel.
Rob.
Like a duck butter caramel.
Ew.
Duck fat caramel.
Duck fat.
That's still
No, it's so like smooth,
luscious.
Creamy.
so smooth and creamy and
Yeah.
soft.
And it'd take a long time to dissolve in your mouth.
Too long. Too
Not this
long.
one.
Okay, couple facts. Okay, is it bad to force yourself to pee before bed? While the just in case pee may seem like a smart thing to do, it is actually a bad habit for your bladder. Peeing when you don't feel the immediate need to do so trains your bladder to empty when it isn't actually full yet.
Ooh.
So all y'all have bad, weak
The problem
bladders.
is, I feel, well, by the way, I always pee a bunch of ounces and I feel like I have to pee. I think that article's for people who aren't compulsively drinking a couple gallons of fluid a day.
Why don't you try? I mean, because I'm a doctor now.
Yeah.
I
Dr.
think
Padman.
you could just try to go 4 hours.
Without a PP?
Yeah. But while you're drinking,
Well,
keep your
I
water
do
in-
do that in here. I go 3 hours.
let's try 4.
I never
4.
get up to, I've never interrupted an interview to pee. Now, if someone else prompts it, I will definitely do it.
Yeah.
But I'll just deal with it. And then also when I drive very long distances, I'll do it.
So which
Although I
means
do pee behind the wheel quite a bit. You know that about me.
I know you pee in cups and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I think you should let's train your bladder to be like mine in your
Okay.
pelvic floor.
All right.
Mine's so strong.
Solid as a rock. You also, just objectively, you drink about less than a fifth of fluid that I drink.
I mean, I don't think you're always paying attention to how much I'm drinking out of these mugs.
Let's quickly do an inventory. So you got up and what did you have?
I got up.
Yep.
I had to take my probiotic.
No, we need fluids.
I'm telling you.
Okay,
My
okay.
God. Had to take my probiotic, so I had water with that.
How much water? 4 ounces, 3 ounces?
Like
2
4
ounces?
sips.
4 sips. Okay, so probably a couple ounces.
Then I had a full mug of hot water with lemon.
Great. So we're at 14 ounces.
Yeah.
12
Yeah,
ounces.
yeah. Then I had a full mug with black tea with a little milk.
Yeah.
How much now?
24.
20,
30. Oh, no, wait. 12
27.
plus, what did I say before? 14. So 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then in
Gotta get my pen
here,
out. Have you noticed I have started holding a pen like I'm Bob Dole?
for your
It actually,
For
I
your
found that
math?
it helps me a lot with interrupting people. I go like, have you noticed at all when you're sitting next to me? I now spin this pen.
Oh,
And I've noticed it's like really helped me interrupting people. And accidental discovery.
interesting.
26. Okay.
Then I came in here. Then I had this size mug.
Right. Did you feel
Extra.
the very brim?
Yeah,
So what are you going to say, 14 ounces for that?
I think 20.
No.
Are you
that's not,
sure?
No, that's not 20
It's
ounces.
does it say on here? It's 18.
And you went, okay.
18.
And you think it went to the very
top.
top.
Fine.
What do you get? I'm just
Fine. 16 and a half.
16 and a half. So that puts us at 2.5. So 32.5 ounces.
And this is my second.
Oh my God, we're adding another 16. Okay, so that's going to be 48. But you said it was 0.5, so 49. 49 flat.
By 130. Not too shabby.
Not shabby at all. And would you agree, this is a pretty abnormal intake for you? This has not historically been your intake.
This has been my intake for like
I don't know if
a
I've ever
week.
seen you go through 2 mugs.
Since I've been doing
Since you
spearmint
got
tea,
sober?
I've been doing since yes. Well, that's true. I didn't drink last night or the night before.
Okay.
So now you add some more ounces because of the no drinking from yesterday.
No, that's not how this works.
Hydration.
So I woke up and I had a 12-ounce cup of coffee.
Okay.
Then I went to the gym and I had a 40-ounce blender cup full of pre-workout.
Okay, we're counting that as liquid, even though it's like kind of
It's
like,
water. Yeah, I'm definitely counting it as liquid.
Okay.
I poured it down my throat.
Doesn't it have protein?
No.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. Pre-workout is like,
I don't know what that is.
it's mostly caffeine.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Then I came in here and I had 12-ounce cup of coffee that Rob had prepared for me. Thank you, Rob.
Rob, was it 12 or?
It's
Oh, that one's 10,
that
isn't
one's
it?
10, but
okay.
it goes all the way to the top.
All right, but so I'll
but
take
like
that down.
9 and a
I'll
half?
make that 10. I'll go down. So now we're at 62.
It says on the
Oh, it does.
coffee maker how many ounces.
And then I had a 12-ounce Diet Coke. So we're at 74. And then I had half of this. This is 16.9, so I'm going to say 8.4. 8.4. So all in, we are at 82.4 versus 49 ounces. And, you know, that's virtually twice
How many
as
times
much.
have you peed?
One time.
One time today.
No, not one time, 2. 5 times 1 month. Since we've begun recording hours ago, I've had 1 squirt.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where all this is going, but
I just want you to let me train your bladder.
okay.
My God.
All right.
I think it's both.
Both what?
I think it's both. Your body doesn't like to feel like it has to pee,
Yeah.
but you also drink a lot of liquids. 'Cause
That's a
I'm the
great
same
compromise,
Way. I'm the
Rob.
same way where if I feel like I have to pee, I'm gonna just go.
Neurotic
Yeah, you
about it.
guys are
Yeah,
neurotic.
but I'm also drinking a ton of liquid.
Well,
Yeah.
I just need you to practice.
I'm gonna be
you
at
guys
300-400
are so full of excuses.
Well, I know where mine came from. Was when I was a projectionist. You had
Yes.
a window where it was like, here's 10 minutes when I can pee. If I gotta pee, I gotta do it, or I have an hour until I can do it.
When you just said that, I don't know why. When you just said you were a projectionist, my first thought is like Rob had a life where he like projectile vomited for like a job.
Oh, wow.
Like
That's
a
what I meant.
magician, like a weird type of
Sword
magician.
swallower.
Yes. Just for half a second I thought that.
I was inclined to watch some clips from AGT recently,
Sure.
Easter egg.
Easter egg.
And there was a performer who put a like 3-foot sword down their throat. That's not the terrifying part. They then did a backflip. They had to train themselves to do a backflip without using their, without doing what you have to do to
What
initiate
you have
that.
to. Yeah. Oh my God.
Fuck.
It hurts. It hurts me. It hurts my
Me too.
body.
Because you got to think of where that pressure would be is like in your.
How do you
in your
even
anus.
lifting your legs?
Does it come out his anus? That would be a trick if he put it in his mouth and pulled the whole sword out of his ass.
Oh.
That person would have to win. Okay. Yeah.
All right. Rachel McAdams, it is unclear if she's married because on Wikipedia it's just partner. She has a partner. So my guess is they're not.
Yeah, I'd probably say spouse.
Yeah, great.
Kurt and Goldie never married.
Yeah, I like that.
I do too.
Okay, Alexander Pushkin. That's who Dave rapped to.
And who Malcolm named his
company after. Actually, I wanted to email Malcolm and just do a little double check on that, make sure that's where the name came from.
Yeah.
But I was in a rush and I didn't.
Okay. I guess we could TBD that.
We can TBD it. I will email him today. He's a Russian poet.
Mm-hmm.
I just want everyone to know, if they don't know. Russian poet, playwright, novelist of the Romantic era. He's considered by many to be the greatest Russian poet, as well as the founder of modern Russian literature. Pushkin was born into the Russian nobility in Moscow.
What year?
In
The 1700s?
1799.
Just at the end.
And
Sure wish he would have remembered that rap and
Me
then did
too.
it for us.
Okay, the Emmy performance is here, if you want to watch a little bit of it. The one that he talked about.
Oh, right, where he didn't know what he was doing.
But he said it looks good.
Yeah.
TV's my lifeline. Dave's here, it's showtime. I came up on Friends, Curb, and Seinfeld. I'm so white, but love me some blackish. Pan 15 binging. I enjoy Ted Lasso, but 20 nominations is a lot. I'm a top chef with the sauce. I may destroy you all. Out here like toothpaste, how I'm getting my two ball. Emmys, we back. CBS, thank you. I have to go. I got it. Squeak.
Yeah, it's great.
It looks.
You'd have no idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, no prob.
Wow.
Thank
That's impressive.
Thank God he pre-recorded it.
Well, exactly. That was the
Yeah.
whole thing. But he really pulled off the motions.
He sure did. I bought every second of it, and I even knew.
Yeah, same.
It was so good, I started wondering if his story
Me
was
too.
true.
I was like, he lied.
This guy's full of shit. What else did he lie about?
Oh man. That's it.
That's everything?
That's all for Dave. Dave was really fun.
I really, really, really enjoyed him. I like sweet boys.
I do too. Vulner boys.
Vulner boys are nice. Yeah.
You could take him with you to the sand dunes with Aaron, and it'll be a bunch of Vulner boys.
Yeah. I don't know if that's up his alley, but I'm willing to extend that.
No one thinks it's up. Well, obviously some people do, but a lot of people don't think it's up their alley until they try it.
I totally agree. You would be in that group.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is you even thanked me one time. You said, "Thanks for having me do that. That's not something I would have ever done in life."
And that was also for shrooms.
Yeah.
And so since I have so much evidence of doing things outside my comfort zone,
Yeah.
I think you can trust. I just really don't like grass volleyball.
But really quick. I don't want to scratch a fresh wound. Did we find out that you have tried grass volleyball?
I've tried it.
Are we sure?
I'm not sure.
Okay,
but
it didn't feel like you were.
I already told
totally
you that it had
sure.
nothing to do with the grass.
Yep, it's your wrists.
It's my wrist. My dainty, dainty wrists.
Right. Yep. So I accept it. It's just, it is hard when someone says, I do not like tomato soup. I've never tried it.
But no, it's like saying, okay. It's like
Okay.
saying, I don't like tomato soup. I've never tried it, but I hate tomatoes. Yes, I did a
hold on.
great analogy.
That's fair. That's a really good one.
Proud of it.
But I can immediately think of an exception,
Okay.
which is many, many people, myself included, most of my life hated onions. I hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Love onion rings. And that's very common. My kids hate onions and they love onion rings. So you might like tomato soup even if you hate tomatoes. Because it certainly does
can.
not taste like eating a tomato on a sandwich.
That's right. It is different.
Right. So I don't know. Now we're back here.
What is going to happen if I play grass volleyball and I break my fucking wrist and it is
Then you can sue me and own my house.
it is the float all over again, the tubing all over again. You want to put yourself in this position?
That's a bummer. That's just the one strike against me, though. Because again, the dunes worked out for you. Like you probably had the similar fear about the dunes, but that one worked out. And the
Shrooms was almost a.
but it worked out.
But it worked out.
Yeah.
But it was almost a baddie.
And the two mean. Now let me ask
That's
you.
a big strike.
I don't even really want the answer to this, but I do. So because that happened, would you have preferred to never have gone on that trip?
It's hard to regret something that didn't happen. Like if I had died,
Right.
I bet I would have regretted it.
You broken an arm, maybe.
Yeah. Even that, if I had recovered, it's hard to look back on things and regret them if you're okay.
I was just telling my mother this exact same thing. As long as you end up where you want to be,
Yeah.
every detail and piece of it is wonderful.
But do you regret, if you could go back in time, would you be like, Monica, I don't think you should come? Because you have to handle
That's
the
not
burden.
the adjustment I would make.
Sure.
The adjustment I would make, like the error I had, my big blunder was they changed that dam. It used to be this really smooth spillover that really nothing would have happened to you.
I know.
And that changed, and I guess maybe I should have looked into if the river had changed or not. So I regret that part. Is like I had promised you something that ultimately it wasn't true.
Well, I want to relieve you that you didn't have to look anything. That would have been crazy if you were looking stuff up and double checking.
It felt like a crazy thing to assume they might have removed the dam, even though they do these river reclamation projects where they get rid of dams. But I was as shocked as you were.
I know. I know.
As we were approaching, I'm like, this doesn't look entirely. And then, well, Delta and I ate shit before you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you guys know how to swim.
And I was
And
the
it's
most
different.
bloodied of the sitch, if you recall.
Yeah, but you weren't the most traumatized.
Not at all.
Just
No,
wanted
I live to get bloody.
You love it. All right. Well, that's all. I hope you
Love
have
you.
a great trip.
Thank you.
And I'll see you on the.
And Dave Burd, we love you.
Yeah.
You made it this far. All right,
Okay,
love
bye.
you.